Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first home Gregorio's Trattoria pregame show. Today, Tyler Gallo joined by Ben Bobeck, as always, and we have Dylan Spilko here today, one of our trusty writers, social media guys out here today. So, guys, first, it's the home opener for the Big Train season. They're going to take on the South County Braves for their first home date of the season. And after last night's game was suspended due to rain, that one will be played later on in the season as they take on the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Ben, what are you looking forward to tonight in tonight's game?
Well, hopefully completing the full game, first of all. But most importantly, how does the Big Train respond to a little bit more of an adverse game last night? Of course, ending after the ninth inning, tied 3-3. They had a pretty great start to the season out in Gaithersburg, 12-6 win there. Not as strong of a bounce back, or I guess not able to carry through that offensive momentum as much last night. How do they bounce back in front of hopefully a really good home crowd here on Povich Field opening night?
Absolutely. The left-on-base epidemic is plaguing almost every team in this league. But, Dylan, how do you think they fix that this season?
I think they got to go back to what they did in that first game. They got to capitalize on scoring with runners in position because in that second game against the Thunderbolts, they really didn't take advantage of that. They only had 6 hits and 3 runs to show for their performance. And that's not going to be good enough if you want to finish atop this division again. So I expect the Big Train to really get back to what they did in that first game and put up maybe double-digit runs again today with a powerful offense. That's my bold prediction of the game.
Yeah, and it was really remarkable. In that Gaithersburg game, they scored 12 runs, but they still left 12 runners on base. It could have been even more than 12. I think it just shows this slightly depleted roster, the short bench for Sal Colangelo, needs to carry its weight. It's been tough so far.
And they'll get some reinforcements later in the week as guys start to roll in here. But for now, we're going to take a look at the Dandy Walker Alliance starting pitching matchup for tonight's game. And it's Stone Cold Jack Cohn out there on the mound tonight. He will pitch and designate hit. So tonight, what are you looking forward to from Jack Cohn out there on the mound?
Jack Cohn's such a versatile player. He plays so many different positions. He's so useful to this team. I expect about 4 or 5 solid innings from Cohn tonight. Don't want to wear out that arm too much early on in the season. But he's such an effective player from just about everywhere on the field where you can't imagine him not succeeding on the mound tonight.
Absolutely, and he's opposed by Jack Thompson from VMI, who will start for the South County Braves. And Ben, a rough season at VMI for Jack Thompson. But what do you think he has to do to pitch a little bit better here tonight?
Yeah, find his rhythm. I think that's what a lot of guys throughout the Cal Ripken Summer League are looking to do. Bounce back from maybe a tough season. It was weird for so many players having to deal with different challenges, different levels of adversity throughout college baseball, and now they have a chance to relax, to have some fun, and play the sport that we all love. And so for Jack Thompson tonight, it's focus on getting things done, doing the simple things, and just working into a smooth rhythm as best as he can.
Absolutely. So let's go with our hitters to watch tonight. And I'm going to start off with the guy that has been on fire to start the season, and a guy I've picked before is Nolan Shanuel tonight. He's going to go out there and have a big game, hopefully, for his team and continue his hot streak. Dylan, we'll start with you. Who's your player to watch tonight?
I'm going to go with catcher Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas, he went 2 for 4 in that first game, and he had 2 RBIs. But the thing that Matt Thomas is doing really well is he's extending his at-bats. When he hit his home run yesterday, it was hit on a 3-1 count, and he also drew 2 walks in that first game as well. So something that he's doing well at the plate is just extending each at bat into his favor. So I'm going with him tonight.
Right, exactly what you want to see out of your catcher. And Ben, who are you going with tonight?
Yeah, Matt Thomas may be a getting on base machine, but it's not even close to what we've seen from center fielder tonight, Darius Foster. And when he gets on base, he burns up the base paths. We've seen so many stolen bases from him already. It's almost become automatic. So in the 2-hole tonight, he can be a really big kickstart to this Big Train offense.
And the scouting report on him is he's probably going to be running almost every time. We've seen him in motion quite a bit as this team likes to run. But that's all we have for you tonight here on the Bethesda Big Train Gregorio's pregame show, Big Train TV. Tyler Gallo, Dylan Spilko, and Ben Bobeck here with you once again. First pitch coming right up.
And Wyatt Trawick.
85 degrees and partly cloudy here at Shirley Povich Field. It's a beautiful night for Big Train baseball as we officially welcome back fans here at Cabin John Regional Park. From inside the George Solomon press box upstairs, Ben Bobeck and Tyler Gallo here for Big Train TV as we're just a few minutes shy of the home opener here for the Bethesda Big Train as they welcome the South County Braves. A beautiful view there of the home plate at Povich Field, and there we see what it looks like currently with both teams out on the field and ready to play some baseball. Tyler, great to be here with you as the 1-0 Bethesda Big Train take on the 0-1 South County Braves. Of course, both teams had their games last night cut short by the weather, but tonight they look to get in a full 9 innings and play some really good baseball all around.
Absolutely, and that game will be completed later on in the season, maybe next week when they take on them again. But for now, it's a pretty interesting pitching matchup out there on the mound tonight. We'll take a look at that one real quick. Jack Cohn gets the start, the Shohei of this team, Shohei Ohtani. He will get the start for the Big Train as he looks to continue his pretty interesting season, pretty great season. Then opposing him is Jack Thompson, who has had a rough year at VMI, but he'll look to silence all the doubters right here with a big start.
As we talked about during the pregame show, looking to get back some of that rhythm as we show you a little bit of the starting order here for the Bethesda Big Train in the home opener at Povich Field. Number 31, Austin Gauthier, leads off and plays shortstop. Number 8, Darius Foster, batting second and playing center field. Batting third, number 23, the left fielder tonight, Nolan Shanuel. Batting fourth, the 500th player in Bethesda Big Train history. A beautiful milestone there for this entire organization. Number 1 out of Long Beach State, the third baseman, Rocco Pepe. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 12, Matt Thomas. And batting sixth, pitching, and the designated hitter, Jack Cohn. We'll get into that a little bit more. Kyle Velasquez is the second baseman, hitting seventh. Brady Gump out of Notre Dame, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Ryan Doherty moves down the line to first base, wearing number 22, and completing Sal Colangelo's batting lineup today. Again, taking on the South County Braves in the first official game at Povich Field. Of course, Big Train played 2 exhibition games here earlier this season as we take a look at the lineup for the visiting South County Braves.
Right, and leading off is going to be Santino Rosso, the third baseman, and then batting second is Nathan Samila, batting second there, the catcher. Pretty interesting name there he's got behind the plate.
It's going to be a fun one to say all
Fun
night.
one to say. I'm not sure if it's Camila or Samila, but on deck is Tyler Solomon, who's going to be playing left field. And then, of course, Reese Kernane is at first. Ethan Rothstein is the designated hitter, not John Rothstein, noted college basketball insider. And then Will Kennedy is in right. Jonathan Fisher is at short. McGuire Tuffy at second base. And Hayden Winter rounds out the order in center field.
Absolutely. And again, on the mound for the Big Train today, it's Jack Cohn wearing number 13, 5'11", 165, rising senior at the University of William and Mary. He went to South County High School. Coming out of high school, he's a lefty, and he has some fantastic facial hair as we look at his stats from last year. 0 for 1 on the year at William & Mary, 14.2 innings pitched, 7.36 ERA, 23 hits allowed, 22 runs, only 12 of them earned, 14 strikes, and 11 walks.
Yeah, dealing with a bit of shoulder issue earlier on in the season, but he's ironed that out, and he's on the mound finally. We thought he was going to be a little longer before that happens, but he's out there tonight as he looks to continue to add some stuff. They've got a plethora of guys available out of the bullpen tonight, so he should be well backed up out there. And unlike the bench, which is not rich in things right now, Grant Knipp is available off the bench tonight. We'll see if he gets in. But regardless of that, there's going to be guys that are going to come in over the next couple of weeks as regionals start to wrap up.
Yeah, as we've mentioned a few times, a short bench for Sal Colangelo. We believe there's only one fielder available to pinch hit. So we'll see how that shapes up. But first, stepping into the box, the switch hitter, Santino Rosso, 5'10", 185, as he takes ball one there. Out of a rising senior at Hofstra, former teammate of the shortstop, Austin Gauthier, for the Big Train.
Yeah, and Gauthier actually has a big announcement coming up.
Swing and a miss there from Rosso.
We've been informed that Gauthier has chosen Maryland, in fact, for his school, so he will be committing there shortly. Congratulations to him for figuring out where he's heading after being in the transfer portal for a little bit.
As the 1-1 swung on and missed by Rosso. Good start right there from Jack Cohn. 2 big swings and misses on back-to-back pitches.
Exactly what you want to see, attacking the zone quickly there from Jack Cohn, getting some strikes in there and moving fast. Maybe doing his best David Cohn impression out here.
Set now for the 1-2. Swung on, chopped towards Gauthier in the shortstop hole. He fires over to Doherty perfectly for out number 1. That will bring up number 12, the catcher for South County tonight, Nathan Samila.
So Samila, the catcher, he's batting lefty here, coming off of a guy that was a switch hitter. So interesting to see how Cone adjusts out there on the mound, getting that nice ground out from him there.
Ashburn, Virginia native, rising sophomore at Dartmouth. Ivy League pedigree for the backstop for South County tonight. Ball 1 there from Cone. This one chopped straight back. What a great play by Jack Cone to snag that one out of the air, flip it over to Doherty. 2 quick outs on 5 pitches for Jack Cone.
What a jumping play there, making his best, maybe Greg Maddox impression out there on the mound. Noted Gold Glove winner as a pitcher, but a leaping try to get that ball. It chopped right to him, and he makes the play there at first.
I'll have to keep an eye on that glove hand
He is a
Jack
fielder.
Cone all night.
He's an outfielder, so
He's an outfielder. He's a pitcher. He does it all. Big train Shohei Ohtani as he fires ball 1 low to Tyler Solomon, the left fielder. Another switch hitter for this South County team. This one misses again low in the dirt. Ball 2.
Solomon looking to maybe throw off the rhythm a little bit of Cone here. The thing we've seen a lot from big train pitchers this year is how fast they move. They don't shake off too many signs, but they go out there and throw.
And 2 guys familiar with each other here as Solomon takes the 3-0. Both players at William & Mary. Solomon, a rising junior down there, Haymarket, Virginia native, and has worked himself into a very favorable count and having a 4-pitch walk from his regular league teammate, Jack Cone. First base runner allowed by Cone. Can't get the 1-2-3 inning to start us off. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter for South County, Reese Kernane.
So Kernane, the first baseman today, wearing number 40. That's Wilson Ramos' number, if I've ever been mistaken there. But Jack Cone, got away from him a little bit there. He'll try to settle in here.
And settles right back indeed with a strike on the outside corner to Kernane.
So last night's game was a fun one to watch, as the crush by Matt Thomas. Unfortunately, that game is still yet to be completed. The big strikeout by Zach Locke to send it to extras, and then the heavens opened up.
3-3 after 9 as Cone quickly works himself ahead 0-2 here.
And I want to talk a little bit, just a tremendous job by Zach Locke to not break in that performance.
I mean, loaded the bases with 2 outs there in the bottom of the 9th.
Had runners in
facing
scoring
Silver
position
Spring Tacoma.
almost all inning.
Yep.
And got out of it. So it's just tremendous.
3-pitch strikeout to end that one, or send that one to extras. Wasn't planned on ending there, but it did. Can't control those humidity storms that this Washington, D.C. area is so familiar with.
It's just funny because it wasn't even raining all that hard. It was just a lot of lightning. And that was really the reason it was canceled.
Not a fun time to be square under those metal bleachers as this one skied into center. Foster has a way to go, able to knock it down off a hop. That was a really tough play in the right center gap. Both outfielders, Foster and Gump, coming over towards it. Foster had the better angle, tried to glove it down, able to keep it in front of him, not let it roll any further. But it'll be runners on second and third here with 2 outs for Ethan Rothstein, the designated hitter.
Pop fly double there for Reese Kernane, and that ball was literally probably hit 37 miles an hour. It just floated up there, long enough to fall down, though.
Rothstein, a rising sophomore at James Madison. 6'4", 220. Listed as a catcher normally. Again, in the designated hitter as he flies the first pitch to right. Back on his horse is Shawniel. He can't get there. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. It's a stand-up RBI double for Ethan Rothstein, and South County starts off the scoring tonight.
Well, it's June, but he sleeps in May, heading ready for this season as Ethan Rothstein drives in the run there, and just a misplay in left field there by Nolan Shawnuel. Tough ask for the guy that's normally at first base.
Yeah, kind of a casualty, if you will, of the short bench. Normally a first baseman slides into left field tonight with the guy who's played center in the previous 2 games, Jack Cone, on the mound. Doherty has been the designated hitter. He's down at first tonight as Cone gets strike 1 there on Will Kennedy.
And well, that was hit towards the Bethesda beat banner in left field, but not a good beat on that one for Nolan Shanuel. It's all right though. It's the first inning. Time to settle in. Maybe after this, they haven't even come to the bat yet.
Scored as a hit right now, not as an error. This one's outside to even count on 1-1.
And that's rightfully scored. I mean, it was hit on the screws out there into left field, and just a tough route to take to it for Shanuel. Not normally in left field, anyways.
Came up to the box, swung at the first pitch, and made it count with a 2 RBI double. Now standing on second, still 2 outs. Jack Cohn got the first 2 batters of this inning, and 3 straight have reached. 2 of those have scored. Just the second time this season, now in 3 games, that the Big Train have trailed. I believe this is the largest, or no, I guess they trailed by 2 last night. As this one's hit up the gap on the left side, coming around and staying at third will be Rothstein. Shanuel, able to get in front of that one and get it back into the infield.
So
The runners on the corners now, still with 2 outs.
4 consecutive batters have reached base now after the 2 quick ground outs, and Cohn just trying to settle in here, and they're not letting him do it. 2 quick runs, 3 hits, and a walk. Jonathan Fisher stands in at the dish.
Fisher, the shortstop tonight. 5'11", 165 junior at Christopher Newport. He's got a couple teammates on this Big Train team.
Absolutely. Jack Braley and Danny Tchaikovsky out of the bullpen are both from Christopher Newport.
Keep an eye on that later in the game. Both of those players available to pitch tonight for the Big Train. First pitch in there for a ball. Set now for the stretch for the 1-0. Cohn fires and hits on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sometimes maybe if you give up that first hit, you forget about the guy at the dish and just remember that hit, and it just can snowball on you a little bit. And in the heat of summer, some snowballs out there on the mound for Jack Cohn.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on. Sent way foul. That's a parking lot alert there.
Hopefully you're not parked over there, Ben.
I am not. Not my first rodeo here when it comes to finding a proper parking spot at Povich Field. Say that 10 times fast.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Proper parking spot at Povich Field. Proper parking spot at Povich Field. This breaking ball very high and inside. Ball 2.
Maybe
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Maybe lost a handle on that one.
Slipped a little bit.
Slipped out of the spinning hand of Jack Cohn as he tries to put this inning to bed.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-0 South County, top of the first. As Cohn set now and swing and a miss. That will end the inning right there. So South County strands a couple, but not before they put up 2 here in the top of the first. Gauthier, Foster, and Shanuel will start off the Big Train offense when we come back. In the bottom. Gauthier, Foster, and Shanuel will try to dig the big train here out of this early hole. Recent University of Maryland commit, Lorton, Virginia native.
He'll head back home.
Stepping into the right-handed batter's box as breaking ball from Jack Thompson just misses high for ball one.
Gauthier now committed to Maryland, so good pickup there for the Terps. One of our writers is a Terp.
As this one's lined into the shortstop hole, Fisher has it and over to Kernane at first. 2-pitch first out for Jack Thompson and the South County defense. They line up like this. Kernane at first, McGuire Tuffy at second, Jonathan Fisher at shortstop, Santino Rosso at third, Solomon Winter and Kennedy from left to right. In the green grass beyond, Samela behind the dish.
Thompson had just a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad season, whatever you want to call it, at VMI this year. VMI had a rough season in general, so can't really discount what he did out there. They lost 25-1 to Samford, and he had to pitch in that game. He had to wear a couple of innings in that game. But looking to settle in here, and he did with the first out.
Rising junior at San Francisco, Darius Foster takes the first one low and pops up a bunt down the left side for strike one, 1-1. Foster has one of the most impressive motors you'll see here in the Cal Ripken League. Always a threat once he gets on, as this one misses just a bit outside for ball two.
So the Don is taking on the Keedet out there on the mound out of VMI. Keedet's their Virginia Military Institute. But, yeah, just a screamer out of the mid of, almost out of the mid of the catcher, Samila.
This one high, ball three, hitters count here 3-1 on Darius Foster. And this is not the guy you want to be issuing a free pass to.
Nope, because he's going to be in motion. Not sure when. Likely it'll be early, but he will be in motion if he reaches base.
Choked up a bit on that bat as he swings at the 3-1, fouls it back into the screen. Send the count full.
Camila just having an adventure behind the dish in the first inning. Had that one almost spin out of his mitt.
Here's the 3-2. Fouled high down the left side. Well out of play. No chance there for Rossi down at third base.
Very nice crowd on hand tonight for the Big Train home opener.
Expecting around 400. Of course, allowed to fill the 750-seat capacity here at Povich Field as much as they can. We hope to see everybody out here as Foster works the walk off the full count. And Big Train have their first runner of the ball game, and it's a dangerous one with a dangerous man at the plate as well in Nolan Shawnuel, the FAU Owl.
Foster, the cardinal sin is walking him with one out because he's going to be in motion. He's running wild. Crazy 8 out there on first base. Shawnuel looking to continue his torrid stretch at the plate.
High hands in that batting stance above the head. Foster stays on the first pitch. That's a rarity as Shawnuel takes first pitch outside. Ball one.
Maybe trying to time the delivery of Jack Thompson out there on the mound. Nothing you can really say about that other than he's trying to time him and maybe he's going to go here. Feigned like he was going on that pitch.
Thompson has a pretty quick motion. Hands straight down, quick stride to the plate, and that whip on the follow-through.
Maybe he's got the scouting report on Camila behind the dish as well.
As Shawnuel grounds this one to first. This could be trouble, and it will indeed be 2 to end the inning. 3U4 double play there. And the Big Train go down quietly in the bottom of the first. Tuffy, Winter, and top of the order for South County here on Big Train TV as we head to the top of the second from Povich Field. McGuire Tuffy to lead things off for South County, the second baseman tonight. Lefty batter with one of the best names we've heard yet, right up there in the Ripken League all-name team with Rocco Pepe.
I think Nathan Schmela could go on there as well. It's like Robert Gazelman.
Yeah, I mean, Schmela is a good name, but you got to have something in the first one, too.
Right.
You got to have that two. You got to be, you got to have punches from both sides. You got to have the jab and you got to have the hook. McGuire Tuffy, he's got it. Rocco Pepe, he's got it. Schmela, one-trick pony.
So not sure if he's named after
Tuffy.
both Mark McGuire and Tuffy Rhodes, two former MLB players, one having a vastly different career than the other.
Yeah, because one I've heard of, the other I have not, as Tuffy grounds this one to Velazquez at second, over to Doherty for out number one.
Interesting 3-U-4 double play to end the inning last one.
We saw something similar the other night. I think it was for the big train, actually, I believe at Gaithersburg. It escapes my memory right now. See if we can find that in the archives of my mind, as first pitch is fouled back by Hayden Winter, center fielder for tonight. Winter, 6'2", 190, rising junior at Cornell. Texas native.
It's a tall 6'2", though.
Good breaking ball there for Cone, and it's quickly 0-2.
Pretty cool night tonight. It's cloudy out, so none of that sun glare we have to deal with normally.
And swinging and missing at that one is Hayden Winter. And once again, 2 quick outs to start the inning for Jack Cone. We'll see how it ends.
Yeah, then he started this inning like he did the last one. Got 2 quick outs, and then it snowballed on him, and the 2 runs came across the score. So hoping that this one he fares better than the others.
Second strikeout of the night there for Cone. As the batting order turns over, Santino Rosso stepping back into the plate the second time tonight and taking ball 1 there from Jack Cone. One-0 misses outside, 2-0.
Like we've said before, those outside pitches are often used as setup pitches to come in with hard stuff, and we'll see if Cone is doing that, just that right here.
2-0 misses low, 3-0.
Something I'm noticing about Santino Rosso is he does not buckle his batting gloves.
Interesting.
Strange.
That is a good point. I've definitely seen that before, like on the base paths. When somebody gets on base, as he takes the 3-0 straight down the pipe. I've definitely seen that on the base paths before, when somebody gets on, but I don't know about at the plate.
I have never seen that before. It's almost like you want to just go out there and buckle him for him.
And he takes ball 4 there, so who knows? Maybe he'll buckle him as he gets on base here. Flips that arm guard aside. Stay unbuckled, of course.
We'll have to see.
That would be really weird if he went down to first base, then decided to buckle them. But, baseball players like weird stuff.
If he were on the big train, we'd absolutely figure out why that is.
Definitely could ask him. We'll see if we can figure it out as this season goes. Maybe we'll get a chance to sidle up to him during batting practice. There's 2 outs, 1 on here for Cone. As he's again facing his teammate on deck now, rather, as Schmela steps to the plate. Grounded out on a chopper straight back to Cone on his prior plate appearance. Takes strike 1 there. Rosa going. Good throw from Thomas. Has him by a mile, and a fantastic tag to get it down by Austin Gauthier. Ends the inning right there. Nathan Schmela doesn't even get a chance, as Santino Rosso is gunned down. And that will bring up the big train offense again here in the bottom of the second. But first, a word from our sponsor at the Dandy.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
The 500th player in Big Train history leads off the bottom of the second. Rocco Pepe out of California, a dirtbag at Long Beach State. Had a good game yesterday, tripled and scored in the 6th inning. Takes ball 1 low. And ball 2 low again.
Pepe was crushing balls in batting practice today. Saw him a bit earlier. It was crazy.
As he wears this one, that one looked like it hurt a little bit. So he'll take his time discarding with the protective material. Yeah, I see it now. Matt Thomas, also out of William and Mary, rising junior, stepping to the plate now with a runner in scoring position after Pepe takes his base after wearing one for the team. Thomas followed up Pepe's triple in scoring on a wild pitch with a solo shot to left center field to tie the game back in the 6th inning. And a chance to at least cut this one to a one-run game, perhaps.
It's a funky game last night. There was triples in back-to-back innings.
And a better chance now as Pepe gets down into scoring position as the ball skirts by Shmila. Very different game than the one we had on opening night. A 12-6 win over Gaithersburg. Again, 3-3 suspended game last night up in Silver Spring. Exciting in different ways, both of those games.
And they're saying that the Big Train left a few guys on base in Silver Spring and came back here.
Here's the 2-0 to Matt Thomas outside, framed by Shmila, unsuccessful, and it's 3-0. If there's a hitter in this lineup for Sal Colangelo that has the green light on 3-0, it might just be Matt Thomas. And he takes straight over the plate, strike 1.
There's no green light there, but smart of him to take that after 3 consecutive balls that were just well out of the zone. Maybe one was close, but the others were well out.
Colangelo has praised just about everything about Matt Thomas as he fouls this one straight back into the protective screen. Heading straight toward our perch up here, but we like to thank our screens like a hockey goalie thanks his pipes. Full count now on Matt Thomas. And again, fouled back straight over the clubhouse here. and into the parking lot. That one definitely endangered a car.
Maybe a few cicadas as well.
Thomas, in his third year in the Ripken League, as he hammers this one to straightaway center field, but right at Winter out there. Solid contact, but it's in F8 for Matt Thomas. So the designated hitter / pitcher, Jack Cohn, stepping into the box now, still with a runner in scoring position here. 1 out now for the Big Train. We had to double check this before the game because in the major leagues, we talked about Shohei Ohtani. In the major leagues, once Ohtani's out of the game, he's out of the game as the DH, or if he stays in, it's National League rules for the American League Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, whatever their team name is nowadays. But we believe that the Ripken League will run off the NCAA rules as Thompson checks back on Pepe at second. No throw as there was nobody covering the bag. Pepe with a pretty healthy lead down there at second base. But we believe it will be the NCAA rules where if Cone leaves the game as a pitcher, he's still allowed to be a designated hitter. If he switches in to an outfield position, perhaps, for Nolan Shanuel as he skies this one down the left field line, under it is Solomon for out number 2. It would go back to the pitcher has to hit.
Right, well, everyone talks about Shohei Ohtani as their favorite two-way player, but mine is going to be very obscure, and his name is Brooks Kieschnick. I actually wrote an article about him. He had two-way for the Brewers.
Casual plug.
In 2003, 2004. He started his career as a top prospect in the Cubs system and then just couldn't put it all together. But he batted .270 in 2004 as a hitter, and as a pitcher, his ERA was .377 as a reliever.
It's pretty good.
So, and then the year before, .526 ERA on the mound and .300 at the plate.
Breaking ball in there for strike 1 on Kyle Velasquez.
One of the best collegiate players of all time. I believe he is the only player to win Texas, whatever league Texas plays in, Player of the Year twice in that league.
As this one is skied to deep center field. Back at the wall is Winter. It's off the wall, and that's going to be a double and an RBI for Kyle Velasquez as the Big Train get one back. Pepe across to score. It's a big knock for Kyle Velasquez.
And boy, does what does he have to do to hit a home run there? He's hit a ball off the wall there twice. A leaping try at the center field wall by Hayden Winter. Just couldn't make a Kevin Pillar-esque play out there on the wall, maybe a Mike Trout-like play. As it was a nice effort, but that ball was hit way too high to catch. And the Big Train get one back.
And so 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for the right fielder, Brady Gump. Takes first pitch in there, strike 1. South Bend, Indiana native, out of the University of Notre Dame. Great season for the Irish this year in ACC play. Link Jarrett squad having a heck of a year as Gump lines this one straight at the shortstop. Fisher for out number 3. Good contact there, but not enough to score Velasquez from second. But the Big Train get one back on the Velasquez RBI double. It's 2-1. So we head to the top of the third on Big Train TV. Been a tough go of things of late for our new pitcher, Matt Howitt, but a great opportunity to bounce back and get his sea legs underneath him out there on the rubber. A teammate of the pitcher he replaces, Jack Cohn, rising sophomore at William and Mary, 6'2", 210, out of Oakton, Virginia. Spent some time in Mesa, Arizona. And the lefty fires ball one just a bit high. 15 innings pitched, a 4.2 ERA, 14 strikeouts and 4 walks at William & Mary. Not able to translate that success here to Bethesda so far as he gets a big swing and miss there to even count 1 ball, 1 strike. In his only regular season appearance, 2/3 of an innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs allowed, 2 of them earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. So looking for a bounce back outing here as he gets strike 2 on a fly ball down towards the batting cage in right field area. Quickly collected by a fan down there for a very nice souvenir.
Maybe it's just nerves from Howitt going into a new park he's not used to.
And tries to go high and outside. Pops out of the glove of a third William and Mary player. So 2 straight complete William and Mary batteries. Cohn and Thomas, and now Howitt and Thomas.
We got any more Tribe on the roster?
Misses outside, sends the count full of 3-2. Somebody's car alarm's going off out there. Please fix that quickly before I get irritated. As here's the payoff pitch from Matt Howitt. And swinging and missing, or swinging and fouling that off. Ooh, heads up there. Player, young fan out by the batting cage. Pretty quick to get at it as he was right there.
Hope that's not my car.
Nathan Schmela. Set now to take the 3-2 from Howitt. And pops this one fairly deep for Darius Foster in center. Takes a couple steps over to his right and grabs it for out number 1. So a good start to this one for Matt Howitt.
Getting a couple of fly balls that have enabled oohs and ahs from the crowd tonight, especially that one that Velasquez hit. But Tyler Solomon walked his last time up. That spelled trouble for Cohn in the first inning.
So we mentioned Solomon opposing his teammate Jack Cohn. Now he's opposing his teammate Matt Howitt. Again, Solomon, a rising junior at William and Mary. Howitt is sophomore. Cohn, a rising senior. As he takes ball 1. And, of course, Matt Thomas, a rising senior as well. So nearly every class at William and Mary represented here at Povich Field tonight, as this one's chopped up over the head of Matt Howitt and into the outfield. And another trip to first for Tyler Solomon. 1 for 1 tonight. He walked and scored again in the first. And he's on here with a single.
Nearly a Yahtzee of a line tonight for Jack Cohn. His line, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That's a lot of 2s for the guy that wears 13.
3 minus 1 is 2. Kind of works.
Does. That Yahtzee almost. Coveted Yahtzee. I don't know if he covets the 2 walks very much or the 2 runs, but or the two hits, but he almost got it.
Reese Kernane takes the first one high for ball 1. As Howitt delivers. Low and outside, ball 2. Originally at Boston College, now at Harford Community College, and now on his way to VCU as he takes ball 3.
Seen a lot of 3-0 counts today on both sides of the ball. Not sure if pitchers are just not settling in correctly or just trying to work around or nibble.
Actually, excuse me, he's still at Hartford Community College as he works a 4-pitch walk. And so 2 on, 1 out for Ethan Rothstein, who delivered in a big way in his last trip to the plate.
Had 2 runners on and charged one down the left field side and eluded the glove of Nolan Shanuel there in left field. And 2 runs came around to score.
looking to stay hungry and stay humble there at the plate. And another RBI opportunity. And he swings at the first pitch again, but fouls this one back towards the concourse.
And if he gets a hit, he's more consistent than a few good men on a rainy Sunday.
I hope somebody's not taking any lines on over-under Rothstein references for us tonight, because we're headed well towards the over. I believe that's 3 already, as the 0-1 on Rothstein catches the outside edge. Strike 2. Quick chat with our home plate umpire.
Andrew Peltola behind the dish tonight. Making that call.
Here's the 0-2 from Howitt. Check swing. Yes, he did. Rothstein goes down on strikes. First K recorded by Matt Howitt. And 2 outs, 2 on now for Will Kennedy.
And much like the Godfather 3, he never acknowledged that pitch at the dish. Gets a strikeout looking, checks his swing, and big strikeout for Howitt.
They made a third Godfather?
Exactly. If you don't follow John Rothstein and you're a college basketball fan, what are you doing?
First one misses low from Howitt. Ball 1.
Yeah.
As this one's lined into left, back on his horse is Sean Ewell, but reaching up and making a nice grab there.
An adventure.
On the back step is Nolan Sean Ewell to retire Will Kennedy and the side here in the top of the third. 2 left on for South County as Matt Howitt gets out of it there. 2 up for the big trade, Ryan Doherty, and then the top of the order with Gauthier and Darius Foster. Ryan Doherty, the designated hitter for the first 2 nights of this 2021 season, comes out of the dugout to play first base tonight, and he leads off the bottom of the third here for the big train. Takes ball 1. Well outside there from Jack Thompson. And, lines the 1-0 straight off of Thompson's leg and can't beat it out. Excellent play there from Thompson to recover from that stinger off of his foot and get Ryan Doherty, and the bad breaks continue for number 22 in green.
He crushed that ball just off the leg of the pitcher. That ball was headed straight up the middle and could have spelled the first hit for Doherty. But unfortunately, that's not how the cookie crumbled. And it seems like when you're going bad like that, always things happen like that. And he's put together some great at-bats this season thus far, though.
He really has. You certainly have to admire his approach at the plate. Again, normally a pitcher is going to get a check on the ball. I think Thompson wants a new one after that one. Had a little bit of an adventure there, off his foot into the dirt. All sorts of fun and games for that baseball. As Gauthier takes this one well inside. Inch from his face there. Got to protect the pretty mug. 1-0 now to Gauthier, and he lines this one up the middle. That one's going to get through. No foot in the way there, and Austin Gauthier is on for the first time tonight. It's the second hit for the big train. And Darius Foster will look to keep the line moving.
And after taking that offer yesterday, at the moment yesterday, he was due up to lead off the next inning.
An unofficial offer.
An unofficial offer. You know, he's had a pretty solid season altogether. He was 2 for 6 in the first game, and despite that 0 for 4 yesterday, he's now 1 for 2 today.
2 for 6, including a big fly to right center.
He's not Ohtani-san, though.
Drops this one, bouncing bunt for Darius Foster. That's going to get down. That's going to be an infield bunt single for Darius Foster. What a beautiful job to lay that one down straight between the catcher and the pitcher there.
This might be my most off-the-board reference here yet, but I'm going to keep outdoing that this season thus far. He's just got all the makings of Norris Hopper in him, and he's got
I have no idea
exactly.
who that is.
Well, this guy played for the Reds, also wrote an article about him. Was just the king of the bunt hit. I think he batted.
Plugs keep on coming.
When he would bunt, he batted .720. Like,
That's
it was crazy.
insane.
It was just
Lord.
ridiculous.
You're gonna have to write that name down for me.
It was 690, and then Willie Taveras was the only one better that year. Former national Willie Taveras with a 720 mark.
Nolan Shanuel comes up hacking at the first one, sends it foul down the left side.
But the guy that could run, he played outfield, center field normally, and could hit the ball like crazy. And he batted above 300. I think he's one of the few Reds rookies to bat above 330 in a season, minimum like 100 plate appearances. It was crazy. And then he was out of baseball by 2008.
Breaking ball inside. And the big left fielder tonight. Big Train in their green home tops, white pants. Visiting South County, red, white numbers, gray pants, blue caps. And this one misses again, low and inside. Ball 2 on Shanuel. Check back, another fake check back on second base. Gauthier out there this time. Fisher was coming over to cover that time. There's a huge gap for the lefty if he can push it a little bit up the left side of the infield. Instead, takes strike 2 on the inside edge.
Very close to a walk there. Or, excuse me, a balk. Not a walk. I had the wrong Scrabble letter there. Worth a bit less points the B is than the W, but almost spun around there to try to throw him out at second.
B is 2, I believe.
W's at least 4.
I want to see W's like 7. As Shanuel hacking at the 2-2 there. Another foul ball over the left field grandstand.
I think I finally found a use for the notes column.
You writing down all the references you make?
I won't write down the ones that people know. I'll write down the obscure ones that I make. Like yesterday I did Troy Gloss and Eric Gagne. While people may know them, may not have remembered them. Tonight it's Brooks Kieschnick and Norris Hopper.
Thompson from the stretch, the 2-2. Grounded foul by Shanuel. We'll do it again.
The obscure references will keep on flying this season. I'm sorry you have to deal with this, but this is bound to happen at some point.
You know your skill set, and you use it very well.
I hope I don't run out of them, but you can never run out.
I doubt you will. I always go back to the baseball card collection as, again, protecting with 2 strikes is Shanuel. 4th foul of this at-bat. Working out now. The 7th pitch of the at-bat by my count. 4 fouls, 1 strike taken, 2 balls. Does that math check out?
Yeah, that's close.
Thanks. Always like to double check on those. I've seen it before. And lines this one straight into the shortstop hole, and it's between the legs of Fisher. That's going to score 1. Foster's going to head to third. It looked like Fisher had that one for a second, but straight between the legs.
Like Bill Buckner. We'll have to see what the score is there. And it's an error. It goes as an error on the shortstop, E6. The runners come around.
Easy call there for the official score, and we have a tie game now.
No
2-2.
RBI. No RBI on that play. On the error.
Depends how you tally it. I believe without counting technically the only official game in the scorebooks for the Big Train is that 12-6 win over Gaithersburg. Like we mentioned, last night's matchup with Silver Spring Tacoma suspended after 9 innings, headed to extras, tied 3-3. Sean Ewell led the Big Train in RBIs, but won't get another one there as first pitch to Rocco Pepe, chopped foul. Foster on third, Sean Ewell a hefty lead off of first, about halfway down to second. Taking his time getting back, resetting.
We'll have to see if that comes around to bite him here as there's a runner on third now, and the Big Train can capitalize with a big swing of the bat here by Pepe.
Here's the 0-1 again inside on the breaking ball to Pepe. Not trying to wear one twice. Did his job the first time around. Came around to score after being hit by the pitch. He'd love to get on base just about any other way. This time at the plate. As this one again sent foul down the third base line. One, two now on Rocco Pepe. I just can't get over that name. Breaking ball outside. Good take there from Pepe. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pepe trying to put some pep into a swing of the bat here with 2 runners on and just 1 out.
And takes this one low and in the dirt. Gets away from Schmela, able to block it down into the infield grass. Knew what he was dealing with the ever-dangerous Darius Foster 90 feet away at third base. Able to keep him there for now. Sends the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Big Train threatening as they look to take the lead for the first time tonight. And Pepe protecting. Grounds a foul again.
Putting together a great turn at bat now.
Really raising Jack Thompson's pitch count this inning as well.
And we'll see if this is the end of the line for Thompson after giving the lead back. They got a 2-0 lead. They were staked to 1 right away before he even threw a pitch, and now it's tied once more.
Some light stretching in the right field bullpen for South County. Tommy Wells, the 6'4 senior at Christopher Newport, as it's a broken bat grounder up the first base line for Rocco Pepe. I think he thought that one was going foul, but he'll get the RBI on the sacrifice ground out. Sean Ewell, heads over to second. Caught that one in my throat as we are indeed going to get at least a mound visit here and a possible pitching change as Big Train takes a 3-2 lead off the sacrifice RBI by Rocco Pepe.
Just a tough swing there. It got it in the middle of the bat, and it halved it almost immediately.
I think he didn't even realize where the ball had gone.
Broken bat. Broken bats are never fun.
Except for you.
So yeah, we're building the broken bat wall. It's happening.
I think we've got like 3 or 4 up here in the broadcast booth now.
Build a chair out of it.
Put those woodworking skills to the test. Chris Warren, bench boss for South County, heading to the bullpen for the first time tonight. So 2 2/3 complete for Jack Thompson. And first time out of the pen here. It'll be Braden Mack, 6'2 righty, another rising sophomore from Cornell, Woodbridge, Virginia native. Listed as a catcher, but evidently, like Jack Cohn, he does it all. Wonder if he's going to run down there after every pitch and catch as well.
We'll have to see.
Might be a little tough.
We may not see just relievers come in and just go crazy like last night. Kieran Garner came in and just had a heck of an effort doing real yeoman's work out there on the mound, getting that
Also,
breaking ball spinning in there.
Did give up a home run.
That is true. That was a charge by Matt Thomas. Nothing much he could have done on that one. Maybe that breaking ball hung a little bit on him. Another Ivy League guy.
Potomac High School graduate. Two-time captain there. Got to the state finals back in 2018. Second team All-Met by the Washington Post, 2019. 3 combined no-hitters for the Potomac School in 2019. And Braden Mack, according to his Cornell bio, pitched 4 innings in each of those. Also served as the class president. And by the way, his brother, Brody, plays for guess who, Tyler?
His brother Brody.
Yes.
Brody Mack. I'm going to have to say he plays for William and Mary.
You would be correct in that, good sir.
The tribe runs deep.
Matt Thomas at the plate now. Wonder if he's at all familiar with Brody, and Braden. A couple of killer bees in the Mack family.
Unlike the
Son
Killer
of Raymond
Bees.
and Diane.
Unlike the
1-0
Killer
to
Bees.
Thomas, now 2-0 as he takes the second one high.
Well, on the pitching staff for the Big Train. Killer Bees, of course, Matt Bedford, Jack Braley, and Luke Baker.
You're really trying to get that one to stick.
And Jesse Barron.
Jesse Barron, yeah. There's a whole bunch of bees down there.
Maybe the
hive.
official Killer Bee.
So that's what we should just call. Lay off the killer bees, and let's just start calling the bullpen the hive.
Well, if we're calling anyone a Killer Bee, it's got to be Jesse Barron.
3-0 to Thomas, and takes 4 straight. So not the start Mack was looking for coming out of the pen, as he puts the second runner on board here for now just the designated hitter, Mr. Jack Cohn.
Cohn trying to maybe help his own cause here. Well, he's not on the mound anymore.
He's already wiped out from the decision, right? I mean, could have technically been on the hook for the loss. But now that Big Train has taken a 3-2 lead here, he's officially down for a no decision. Time called. I believe they were waiting for the audio to cut out there. Can't play those when the batter is in the box. As Cohn takes a strike there from Mack.
I liken that to the moment in Arizona a couple of years ago with the Mets playing Arizona. Justin Turner was at the plate. If you can believe Justin Turner was a New York Met. J.J. Putz was on the mound, and the sound system played the intro to Kickstart My Heart as he was delivering a pitch.
0-2 now to Cohn as he fouls this one back. Great song. See, that's a relevant Mets reference.
That is a relevant Mets. A
That
lot
one
of
I'll
my
give you.
obscurity ones that come from the Mets, though.
As Cohn protecting here with 2 strikes. Sends this one out of play. Three hits allowed. 2 runs, or 3 runs, 2 of them earned for Jack Thompson as Jack Cohn flies this one out to center field for the 3rd out of the inning. But it's a big 2 spot in the bottom of the 3rd for the Bethesda Big Train as they take a 3-2 lead to the top of the 4th here on Big Train TV. defensive swap for Sal Colangelo here in the top of the fourth. Nolan Shawnuel returns to the first base bag. Ryan Doherty out there in left now. So slightly a little more expected defensive alignment here, with Shawnuel returning to his natural position there with that big old mitt on his hand. And it's Matt Howitt here to start things off, facing down Jonathan Fisher.
Maybe trying to avoid that those adventures in left field Sean Ewell went under.
Starts him off with strike one, comes right back, evens. 1-1, chop towards Velazquez as second. Mishandled, kept it in front of him, but lost it. No chance to recover. And so Fisher will reach on the E4.
Tough hop there for Velazquez. Not much he could do. And giveth and taketh away, as that happened to the shortstop Fisher. And he gets aboard via one himself. This time it's an E4, though, opposite side of the diamond.
McGuire, Tuffy, stepping into the left-handed batter's box here and trying to lay down a bunt. Beautiful one there. Miscommunication. Pepe short arms the throw, and is going to get past Sean Ewell. Good backup there from Kyle Velazquez to keep that one in play. And so Fisher down to third. Tuffy reaches. We'll see if that's scored. It is indeed scored as the second error. Consecutive error there. That was just a little bit of a miscommunication. Howitt came off the mound to try to field it, left it off thinking Pepe was charging behind him. And Pepe, I think, was expecting Howitt to field it. Came in late and fired over short arm from the ground. And Sean Ewell just wasn't ready for it, thinking Pepe was going to hold. So first and third, no outs here for Matt Howitt as Hayden Winter takes ball one.
Truly is just some hard luck here for Matt Howitt on the mound. He's gotten 2 outs in this inning. He really has. And it's just a matter of, well, the second one was a bit closer, but the first one was an out if fielded cleanly. So you got to feel for the guy out there on the mound.
2 tough breaks as he runs this one inside, ball 2. Really tough hop, especially for Velazquez. Normally pretty smooth Povich dirt. Just took a really cruel hop there in front of the St. Mary's infielder. So here's the 2-0 from Howitt. Line foul down the right side.
And exactly the way you pick up your teammate here is hopefully on a ground ball turning a double play. Or maybe even getting an out at the plate if it's shortly hit.
Ball 3 outside. Two high-scoring games in action around the Ripken League. Silver Spring Tacoma up on Gaithersburg 14-1. As the 3-1 misses outside, ball 4, and its bases loaded here for Nathan Schmila.
Nobody out. All you can hope for is a double play in the situation. And the infield will look like it'll draw back to concede the run on a ground ball. So they get the double play, hopefully. And in this situation, you'll trade 2 outs for a run.
9 spot in the first for Silver Spring Tacoma. They're still in the bottom of the second there. And the T-Bolts have already put up 14. As this one's a chance for 2. Throw home. And that one's going to be called foul. And I don't know about that one. They might have to discuss this. Good play there from Pepe. Force play all around. Came home to Thomas. Thomas checked down to Sean Ewell, but by that time, Schmila had stopped. Or Rosso, rather. Skipped the batter there in my head. Santino Rosso at the plate.
He's turned around and batting on the left side now. on the right side.
Yep, you want to get that lefty-righty matchup. Batting lefty against the righty cone. Say that one fouled off of Rosso's foot as this one ends up ball 2 outside.
Wonder what it's got to be like calling that game over in Gaithersburg right now.
Thinking of our
good pal Adam Gotkin over there and having to deal with a 14 spot through the first 2 innings of the game.
last 7 innings of that one might drag as this one's lined towards second. Over to Gauthier, over to Sean Ewell. So it's 2. The run comes home to tie it. Fisher, the 3rd run of the day for South County. But it's a big double play there to try and stifle any further damage. 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th.
And I don't want to say I called it there, but that's a beautiful pickup effort of your teammate, of a guy that just had some tough luck go against him. While the game is tied, you get 2 quick outs. And I have gotten a comment from Mr. Gotkin right now. He says, this is rough. Still no outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
As this one flown in the air toward Gump. So 1 run comes home, but all in all, pretty successful triage there from Matt Howitt, despite loading the bases. Tie game heading to the bottom of the 4th on Big Train. Finished checking our out-of-town scoreboard. The only other game in action tonight, DC Grays in Alexandria to take on the Aces 6-5 in the bottom of the 4th there. Slightly more entertaining game than that 14-1 beatdown currently being put on by Silver Spring at Gaithersburg. 1 out now in the bottom of the 2nd there. 3-3 tie ball game here in the bottom of the 4th as it's Kyle Velazquez stepping in here to lead things off. Got the RBI on the first run of the game for the Big Train with a big double just off the left side between that batter's eye and the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Velazquez quickly ahead here, 2-0. Braden Mack still out there on the bump for South County, and 3-0 now for Velazquez.
Velazquez, we'll see if he has the green light here. Gave a ball a charge earlier in this game all the way to the top of the fence near the scoreboard. He's taking all the way.
Takes inside, strike 1. And this one grounded down the third base line, and that's going to get by Rosso at third. Velazquez rounding second. He's going to round and stay there. Had a good look at third base, but decided to hold. And it's a leadoff double for Kyle Velasquez. Stands as a double for now. Tough play for Santino Rosso. That's a double in my book, and looks like it's going to stay a double on the official scoreboard as well.
Consecutive doubles now for Kyle Velasquez, both hitting different spots, and he's got 4 total bases on the day already.
And now a chance for somebody to return the favor and bring him home as Brady Gump takes a breaking ball high and inside for ball 1.
Gump just trying to find it here. He's ran into some hard luck out there on the field as well, hitting into some great defensive plays. Just been robbed all over the diamond.
Already mentioned that for Doherty. The 8-9 spot certainly has looked better than their production looks on paper. A lot of skill between those two guys. A lot of determination, too, especially for Ryan Doherty. Again, kind of forced into a position he wasn't really brought here to be. You know, I don't think Sal Colangelo had Doherty designated hitting when he selected him for this roster. But he stepped up to the plate in a big way as Gump takes the 1-1 in the dirt, ball 2.
Absolutely, and that 1-3 is the toughest 1-3 you're ever going to see. 1-3 put out for Ryan Doherty. Hit it right off the leg of Jack Thompson on the mound. And maybe that's why he was removed from the game. Maybe feeling some ill effects after that.
And this one misses outside in the dirt as well, ball 3. So a good hitter's count here for Brady Gump. And he takes on 3-1 inside over the plate for a strike. Good pitch there from Braden Mack. He's found that location a couple times. A little high and inside, right by the hands of the right-handed hitter, but still over the plate enough for a strike. Here's the payoff pitch now. No outs. Velasquez going. And this one fouled. Off the just beside the picnic pavilion. Looked like it was going to hit it square in the roof. 3 young fans over there. A scramble for that one.
Just love when they get sent scattering for foul balls. That's my favorite moment.
Much more efficient foul ball retrieval system across the sport of baseball, with fans back in seats all over the country as the payoff pitch again. Line straight up the gap. Velasquez rounding third. He's got a chance to score here, being waved home by the third base coach, Coach G. And he's in there to break the tie again. Kyle Velasquez, leadoff double, comes home to score on a great RBI by Brady Gump.
Exactly what you wanted to see finally out of the 8-hole. Brady Gump getting off the schneid per se and gets in. He's been taking some time. I mean, he singled in his last at-bat he did not get a hit last night, but he did single in the game against the Gaithersburg Giants, the first game of the season, but finally getting that elusive second hit here and driving in a big run, and we'll see what Ryan Doherty can do here.
No outs. Runner on first now, and a 4-3 Bethesda Big Train lead. That was about as perfect as you could draw it up for Brady Gump. And a big production out of the 8 spot there. As Doherty takes ball 1. Left-handed hitter.
Hit it towards the vacated hole on the right side of the infield as a lefty, or as a righty. That's a great way to put it. Some opposite pop. Gets it in there and gets the run in.
Teammate of the man who just scored at St. Mary's. As this one squirts past the glove of Kernany. He's going to throw down to second, but getting there is Gump, and this one rolls into the outfield. Gump came up looking to get that little league triple. But instead, will stay at second. Not quite what we saw in the 9th inning of that exhibition game against Silver Spring that you so aptly described, Tyler, as a comedy of errors. Velasquez, again, the beneficiary of a couple throwing errors around the infield. But runner in scoring position, no outs. Big Train looking to add. Already put up 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. And a chance for at least 1 more with Gump in scoring position. As swinging and missing through that one is Doherty. 1-1.
Pressed into service here has been Ryan Doherty. That's the best I can explain it. I mean, a guy that was probably anticipating coming out of the bullpen until about the first or second game of the season when just issues necessitated that he gets into the lineup. So we'll have to see what goes on. Square and bunt.
Squaring a bunt. Able to pull it back in time to take ball 2. Error by the first baseman there on the Brady Gump advancement to second. I don't know if that's technically the correct form of the word advance, but it'll work. Sun's starting to set out there in deep right field, just behind that light tower. Here's the 2-1 high, ball 3. Be a big walk here to turn the order over for Ryan Doherty.
No advance there for, I guess, the Brady Gump out there on the field.
C'est français, oui.
I don't speak French. I'm sorry.
C'est la vie. Chopping this one foul. Send the count full. Ryan Doherty.
In the wise words of SpongeBob SquarePants, I don't speak Italian.
Neither do I. Barely speak French.
Oh, my dad does.
By barely, I mean none at all.
Yeah.
Harking back to 3 years in middle school, single semester in high school, and decided enough was enough. Set from the stretch now is Mack. And a balk called. So Brady Gump gets third base eventually.
BK.
Didn't exactly see what Mack did, but first base umpire Jim Clayton very sure of that call. And so 90 feet away now, Brady Gump. And the 3-2 to Doherty coming now. And he sends this one high in the air, left side. 3 South County players chasing under it. And that's going to get down. Fisher, the shortstop, came over. It was in his mitt, and he dropped it all the way over to third. Is Ryan Doherty. This one skirts all the way past Rosso again. Schmiele able to collect. And it's an RBI for Ryan Doherty. He stands on third. 5-3 to Big Train. They're going to score that a hit. Well deserved for Ryan.
Wow, that was an interesting hit there. We'll see what it goes down as, but a hit nonetheless into no man's land where 3 guys converged on it, and none of them made it. It didn't roll away far enough for him to get an inside the park home run, which would have been tremendous. But instead, he's on third with what should be a double at least. We'll have to see what it's scored by the official score.
5-3 as it stands. And this one runs well inside on Austin Gauthier, the leadoff hitter at the plate now. No. Gauthier sends this deep to the wall, off of it. That's going to be another RBI. Gauthier rounding first, a stand-up double, and it's a 3-spot here in the bottom of the 4th, and Big Train keep adding. Make it 6-3.
What a crush off the bat of Austin Gauthier there. The newly minted Terp gets in there and gets on the board here for his 2nd straight hit.
Straight into the gap between Winter and Solomon in left center, and off the Gregorio's Trattoria banner out there. A big RBI double for Austin Gauthier. He's really had the bat work in the last 3 games and has earned that leadoff spot, allowing Darius Foster to slide right here. The number 2 as he shows bunt, pulls it back, takes strike 1.
We still haven't seen what they're going to call the hit for Doherty.
They're going to call that a triple. It's a triple in the official score. That's a heck of a way to get your first hit of the season. Have it be a 3-bagger.
What a way to get your first hit as well. And that would have just been even more just painful if he didn't get that hit there. The way that the shortstop went out and dove for it, it looked like he made the catch, and that would have just been like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a sensational play by Fisher. I couldn't tell if it was in his mitt and slipped out as Foster chops his one up the left side. Diving stop by Rosso. Throwing over. Can't beat the speedy Darius Foster. He legs out another infield single this season. It's what he does best.
The infield hit king, the bunt hit king, whatever you want to call him, he gets the job done at the dish. Doing his best Norris Hopper impression. I mean, it's just uncanny.
In the second inning in a row, he's going to be slowed down by the presence of Austin Gauthier at second. Gauthier forced to hold at second, no force at third. But obviously with the ball in Rosso's hands down there, as Shanuel with an RBI opportunity here. Still no outs in the bottom of the fourth, 2 men on, and a 6-3 big train lead. It's a 3-spot so far and a chance for a couple more.
Nolan Shanuel just looking to continue the keep it down, moving on the line out here.
Takes this one high, ball 2. And this is really where this big train lineup can kill you. It's been really good to see the 7, 8, 9 come up big. 3 straight RBIs, 3 straight runs scored for Velazquez, Gump, Doherty. But when you get into the
5 straight hits as well.
Yeah, I'm just talking about those 3 in particular. I appreciate the correction. I know what you're trying to say, but come on here. I'm talking about the bottom of the order. I'm trying to focus in, narrow the lens on the bottom of the order as
it's just
Shanuel
the third
takes
game of the
strike
year.
1.
Well, the second one that's
second official, yeah. Still
don't
in
know.
play last night.
still a chance to.
If you look at the official score, there are no official games for the big train. A couple computational errors back in that opening night against Gaithersburg, but I digress. Anyway, what I was trying to say is 3, 4, 5, Shanuel, Pepe, Thomas. You do not want to see them with nobody out and a couple runners on, and that's exactly the situation for Braden Mack in South County here. 3-1, swung on, sent well foul by Shanuel.
And I'm thinking that's going to be the 3-4-5 that they roll with for the rest of the season, or just out there almost every night, barring injury. These guys have put it all together. These guys are always often out there and just putting in work.
And really complement each other well. They're 3 very different hitters. Left, right with Shanuel, Pepe, and Thomas, as Shanuel protecting with the full count. Cuts it foul, 3-2, still. They do different things well. And they all have a decent amount of pop. Thomas probably the best on-base guy among those 3.
It's hard to determine who has the best raw power of the 3, though. We've
Yeah.
seen them in batting practice.
That's a fun competition as Shanuel laces this one just foul. That one was hard hit down the right field line, bouncing off the bullpen fence all the way out towards Hunter Renfro's retired 11. Flipped back into the bullpen by Kennedy. His teammates up there appreciating the souvenir. As we see a couple righty arms in that South County pen. 3-2, we'll do it again here from Mack to Shanuel. Time called.
Trying to do his Hunter Renfro impression with that crush down the right field side.
From the stretch is Mack. 2 runners on. And Shanuel laces this one to left. Coming in is Solomon. Diving. And he makes the grab. Fantastic play there from Tyler Solomon to come in and save perhaps one more. He gets the first out of the inning with a beautiful catch. And I know there's a couple people down in Daytona, Florida that will appreciate that one.
Absolutely.
Web gem from Tyler Solomon.
You can hang an exclamation point next to that one in your scorecards, as that was a beautiful diving, sliding play there from Tyler Solomon. And just coming in, and it's a hard run, even in from his he's shaded back a little bit in the left field, playing a bit deep, so he had a long way to run for that one, and he makes the beautiful sliding stop.
Breaking ball in there to start Pepe off with a strike. Foster on first. Gauthier on second. Rocco Pepe at the plate with an RBI opportunity. Mack checking back on Gauthier. Now comes home to the plate inside. Ball 1.
Just a row of ones on the scoreboard out there and left.
At the plate, number 1, he's got 1 ball and 1 strike on him with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, rather. And swinging, sending this one foul into the big train bullpen. Caught by the screen down there. 1-2.
Seeming like these guys are now attacking Mac. They've figured him out a little bit out there on the mound and right on Coach Warner to get guys up in the bullpen.
And Pepe laces this one to left center. That's going to get down and be at least one. Bounces off the scoreboard. Gauthier rounding third. He will score. Here comes Foster speeding home. Play at the plate. Not even close. 2 RBI double for Rocco Pepe. And he gets it done out of the 4th spot, cleaning up.
And how about Foster scoring all the way from first on that one? Just shows the sheer speed that he's got at the dish and in the field. And he comes around to score on that one, the 2 RBI double for Rocco Pepe. What a shot that was into the gap. Split the gap. No, very perfectly placed.
Nearly in the same spot that Gauthier put it. There's a bullpen. Keeps warming down there as Matt Thomas, takes one high and inside, ball 1.
And it's all on Mac out there on the mound. You know, they've got arms to burn out there in the bullpen, though. So we'll probably see a new pitcher next inning, at least as the 5 spot for the big train looms large in this inning.
As Thomas chops one over the head of the second baseman, Tuffy. Pepe rounding third. He will score. And it's another RBI. Matt Thomas bringing home Rocco Pepe. And Tyler, not to be that guy, but how about the production of the 4-5 there, as Chris Warren has likely seen enough here from Braden Mack.
Just excellent production. And then, by the way, that is 7 hits in this inning.
7 hits,
7
and 6
hits.
runs.
And that's going to go nicely in the line score. That might be the only time we have that for a line score, unless it's about the same, as that's going to be it for Mac on the mound.
New pitcher coming in from right field. We'll take a second from our friends at the Dandy Walker Alliance.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Rising junior at Washington College, number 7, Jay Nesson, stepping onto the rubber now for South County. Falls Church, Virginia native will look to put a tourniquet on this inning as Jack Cohn, the 9th batter of this frame for the big train, steps into the box now. 6 runs, like we mentioned before that break, on 7 hits. And it is a massive 9-3 lead now for Big Train.
And just remember, the Braves were leading in this game early on. We thought, oh, things are going to be tough here for Jack Cohn on the mound, but out there and shining at the dish, hopefully, with 1 swing.
Runner going outside, not a chance for Shmila behind the plate. As Matt Thomas heads down to second.
not taking the foot off the gas on the base pass either.
So we got another little. Born to run was Matt Thomas as he ran on down to second base.
What we see from Coach Sal often is just
Taking a hefty secondary lead there, all the way equal with the mound. Thomas has talked about his base running, especially after that 2019 season. Of course, he had that huge moment in the championship game, the deciding game of that championship series to get the big train back in it. But he talked about how after that season, the biggest thing he took back to William and Mary with him was a marked improvement in his base running game.
absolutely. And the thing we've seen a lot with Coach Sal is just once he gets the knife in, he just puts it in and twists it. And that's really what he's going to keep doing here in this game. 6-run lead is never enough for Coach Sal.
Play the game the right way, and if they can't stop us, it's their problem. That's the Coach Sal Colangelo mentality, and there's a reason he is in the Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League Hall of Fame. 3-1 now to Jack Cohn.
I'm just likening this pitching windup to a slide step. And the slide step didn't really help to keep Thomas at first base. It just looks very similar to a slide step.
From the stretch here is Nesson. Yeah, I definitely see what you mean there as Cohn works a walk. And the Bethesda Big Train have officially batted around. Kyle Velazquez led off this bottom of the fourth with a double. Later came home and scored on the RBI by Brady Gump. And he steps back into the box here.
And that makes twice this season that the team has batted around. They did it against Gaithersburg, and now they're doing it again against South County.
6 runs, 2 hits, 4 errors by the Gaithersburg Giants. Big Train left 2 on in the 7th inning of that game back on June 7th. Like we've said, a 12-6 win for the Big Train. Looks like they're on their way to victory station if they can keep this up as it skirts by Schmila behind the plate. Runners will advance to second and third. So 2 in scoring position now for Velazquez. He's got 1 RBI already and a chance for 2 more now. And to put the Big Train in double digits here with 1 swing of the bat.
And he's got a pair of doubles already, so another one would chase both these runners in and make it a 11-3. 11-3 Big Train lead.
Looking for a hat trick of doubles, perhaps. And takes ball 2 there, high. So, Tyler, we talked about a little bit pregame especially, how despite 12 in the season opener, as this one runs over the plate for strike 1, Velazquez tight in there in the batter's box. Talked about how despite 12 in the first game of the season, Big Train not necessarily able to carry that offensive momentum into last night's game against Silver Spring Tacoma, but they've certainly brought their bats here for the home opener at Povich Field as this one runs inside and hits Kyle Velazquez square between the shoulders, right on the Bethesda across the back.
And truly, it just seems like the rain washed away all their offense yesterday. You know, a slow night from their standpoints, but tonight, the knife.
I see what you're trying to say there, but it didn't start raining until after the game.
The rain in the area, I guess.
It's certainly rain and runs here in the bottom of the fourth. Bases loaded now for Brady Gump. First pitch, high and inside, strike 1.
The rain can't wash away all the pain of yesterday today. Tell the world they came home and played baseball.
Isn't it ironic?
It's not that song, but I love the Alanis Morissette reference.
Strike 2 to Brady Gump.
It's the Tell the World I'm Coming Home song.
I know that. I was diverting there.
It's like a black fly in your Chardonnay.
It was her birthday. Yeah. It was her birthday last week, I think, Alanis Morissette.
It's like
Canadian icon.
It's like meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful
0-2.
wife.
Whoa, way inside, hits him again. Breaking ball misses well inside on consecutive batters. And it's a hit by pitch RBI for Brady Gump. I mean, that hit him in nearly the exact same spot, square between the shoulders. And for the second time tonight, here's Ryan Doherty Second time this inning, pardon me.
Boy, wouldn't he love he started this inning off, way back when he had a triple for his first hit of the year, and if another one here could make this a 12 or 13.
He would love to clear the bases here.
He would
He
absolutely.
certainly deserves it.
Oh, swinging for it there.
Big cut and a big strike there. Still just 1 out in this inning.
And that 1 out was a big one by Tyler Solomon in left field.
Haven't been keeping track, but it's almost 8:40. This inning certainly is tick-tocked as he takes ball 1 high.
And there's no end in sight. Really just a horrible inning altogether for South County. Not much else you can say about it. We're almost an hour and a half into this game, and it's still just the fourth.
7 runs on 7 hits. Generous call there from Andrew Peltola for strike two, pardon me, on Doherty.
Three straight innings Doherty's batted.
Set from the stretch outside. Don't even have a place to put. They got to go into the 5th inning in the scorebook because normally I'd go in the inning before for Velazquez and Gump. That's what I did. No space for Ryan Doherty because he grounded out to the pitcher 1-3 in the 3rd. Tripled and scored here in the 4th already. And chops this one foul on the 2-2.
Playing some organ music here, but they don't necessarily need more runs in this inning. They've already put up 7. The crookedest of the crooked numbers.
Set now is Nesson for the 2-2. And send foul straight towards the South County dugout. We'll do it again.
Not uncommon for these big snowball innings to happen in games. I mean, we saw the 9 spot that the Silver Spring T-Bolts put up in the first inning on Gaithersburg.
2 runs shy of that here.
Wonder who was on the mound for Gaithersburg tonight.
As Doherty pops this one up into the infield. That's off the glove of Nesson. That's going to score another 8 runs in the 4th. As Doherty reaches on the E1.
It's going to be an infield fly. They called the batter out.
Ah,
So I'm not sure how to score that one. The run does come across to score, though. Tagging up on the play, I guess. So a sacrifice infield fly? Would that technically be what it would called?
I guess. 2 outs. Tough to tell. I was going to say something before and I completely forgot as the lineup turns over again for Bethesda. Austin Gauthier stepping to the plate now. Bases, 2 runners on the bases. First and second. This one breaking ball inside. Double steal on. Cone to third. Cone scored.
Just a big question mark in that spot because they haven't even updated the scoreboard yet. So I'm not.
Velazquez to third and Gump to second. There's another breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Not entirely sure what to call Ryan Doherty's just mechanical pop-up into the infield. Can of corn.
They're calling it a P1 putout, and Jack Cone scores.
So that'd be, how's that score? Is that an RBI for?
I guess technically.
So P1 PU, is that what it is? Or P1P? I'm not sure what to call that. I guess P1.
Not as strange as that catcher's interference we saw the other night.
Catcher's interference double play. You don't see that quite often.
2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, Austin Gauthier. He takes ball 3 to fill it up in the outside dirt. crowd here at Povich certainly has settled. It's been quite a long inning for him. It's been almost as long of an inning as it is for the players out there on the diamond. 3-2 from Nesson. Swinging and missing is Gauthier to mercifully end this, but not before Big Train puts up a big number 8 here in the bottom of the 4th. And South County will have to try to fix some of the damage when we come back here in the top of the 5th. Two years after Nathan Schmila flew out to Brady Gump in right to end the top of the 4th, here we are in the top of the 5th with Tyler Solomon, the left fielder, stepping into the box now and swinging and missing at strike 1.
And this is a game that just needs to be put to bed here.
Swinging and missing at strike 2.
As Matt Howitt, perfect situation for him, and he's pitched pretty admirably up to this point.
There's no better spot than an 8-run game for a pitcher to try to find his stuff. And there it is, a punch out of Tyler Solomon, and Matt Howitt will take that one and put it under his belt for later.
So how's an 8-run response after 1 run was put up to tie the game in the last inning?
Say that's a lot. It's a lot. I don't really know what else to say to that. And Tyler, let me ask you this. Do you think it's harder for this, this kind of, I'm thinking about how to say this question in my head. It just sounds stupid, but which team is it harder to stay engaged for? I mean, the team that's down by 8 and trying to fight back and at least make it, an admirable game? Or do you think it's the team that's, poured it on in the last inning and now has to kind of struggle to stay focused and just keep executing what you got to go out there and do for, 4 more innings?
I think there's always fight in players, but definitely wind taken out of the sails when they put up an 8 spot in an inning. And sometimes in these big run games, as there's another strikeout for Matt Howitt, the guys can stop focusing, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them here.
We'll see as this game goes on if there's any sort. But as we talked about in the middle of that 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th inning, it's something that Coach Colangelo prides himself on, is the way his team continues to press on, continues to play the right way. No matter the score, no matter what's going on in the other dugout. Earned him some beanballs a couple times. Matt Thomas, again, has talked about how, sometimes the aggressive base running can come back to haunt you, as it's another big swing and a miss there from Matt Howitt, and he looks to cruise here with Ethan Rothstein at the plate. Already sent down Solomon and Kernany on strikes, looking and swinging respectively. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And inside, good pitch there from Howett, but ball 2. Or 2-1 rather, excuse me. I think I said 1-2.
Certainly wonder who's up next in the bullpen for the big train. No one up now, obviously. This is Howett's inning to throw.
Heads up down the left field line. Lost his bat out of the hands of Ethan Rothstein.
Maybe needs some spider tack.
I was just going to say, get some pine tar on that handle. It's allowed for you. Others, not so much, as I believe that's Coach Sal himself. Retrieve it. Give him a pat on his back.
Fully loaded that one into the dugout screen. Chris Beard is fully loaded.
That's 4. We saw that in a similar fashion. I love that so much, so I'm going to bring it up again. The third baseman for Gaithersburg on opening night, Eddie Lavelle, batting from the other side as there's a punch out to end the inning.
Talk more
on Ethan Rothstein. We'll finish that thought in a bit, as so rudely interrupted by Matt Howett striking out the side. Looking, swinging, looking, 3 straight put downs for Matt Howett. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Darius Foster singled and scored in the 4th, singled and scored in the 3rd. Walked and was caught in a double play in the 1st. And looking to at least reach base again here as he swings and misses. It's strike 1. Jane Nesson, I believe, still on the mound for South County after he was able to finally wrap up that century-long bottom of the 4th. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball in there. Strike 2 on Foster. And from the windup, here's the 0-2. Swung on, grounded towards first base. Flipping it over to Noonan and a punch out there.
How about
excellent
that?
execution on the 1-3. That is normally not such a close play. But the speed of Darius Foster that has certainly been on display so far tonight made that one an exciting 3-1.
How about that? Up by 8 and still running hard. Absolutely love the effort there from Darius Foster.
And luckily for Noonan, Foster is not on base as that one sailed past the glove of Schmila behind the plate. Here's the 1-0, still from the wind-up, breaking ball in there on the outside edge. Strike one, rather. One ball, one strike. Andrew Peltola is going to do his best to speed this one up down the stretch, as it's already 9 o'clock, just halfway through this game. 79 degrees, according to our scoreboard thermometer, 5 minutes shy of the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Ben Bobeck and Tyler Gallo here for Big Train TV. An 11-3 Big Train lead is after the 1-1. Nolan Shawnuel takes 2 straight balls, 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count here.
And now that we're out of Silver Spring, we can say the zone has been very inconsistent tonight from the home plate umpire. Even in an 11-3 game, still notice that it's changed a lot.
Oh, this one runs well inside. Don't believe it hit Shawnuel, but it's the 4th ball, and he'll take his base. Slow trot down there. Little Aerosmith to walk him down.
Walk This Way. What a song to play for that.
Walk This Way, Born to Run when he steals second base. DJ's firing on all cylinders as Rocco Pepe steps into the box.
Pepe, his last time up, hit that charge of a double all the way to the wall. All the way to the scoreboard here at Povich Field.
Doubled and scored. Sacrifice ground out to the pitcher to score Foster, I believe it was, back in the 3rd. That was the run that would stand as the tying run. That seems so long ago already. Hit by a pitch in the 2nd and also scored on that as he grounds this one through the hole on the left side. And Rocco Pepe on base for the 3rd time now.
And we might see another fill of the scorecard here in this inning, barring a double play. There's only 2 spaces left on this side for me as I filled into the next column.
Your mistake, my good sir. Got to use the boxes that weren't used already.
There was only 2 of them.
That's true.
So it's whatever you want to make it right there.
Ball 1 on Matt Thomas. Singled and scored. Walked back in the 3rd. Put a charge into 1 for a deep fly to left center last night in Silver Spring. So he takes the count even here, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Thomas killed that ball into the woods in Silver Spring at that backyard baseball-esque stadium.
Breaking ball there, just misses high. Ball 2.
That one's pop foul. Just a great day at the plate for Matt Thomas, who's 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Just a good day altogether. Anyway, Slice said he's had a good year so far in the young campaign.
Two to Matt Thomas from the windup, and this one sails, collected, throw down to 3rd. In time.
What a carom that was to the catcher, Schmela. Schmela. Just a great carom. It reminds me of that play that Gary Sanchez made a couple of years ago where that bounced directly off of the backstop and into his hand, and he threw out Tony Kemp at 3rd base.
Shawnuel caught in no man's land there between 2nd and 3rd. Thought that one was well behind Schmela instead. Pepe will advance to 2nd, and Shawnuel becomes the 2nd out of this inning. 3-2 count now to Matt Thomas as he checks swing and is punched out. Strikeout swinging there for Matt Thomas. And so despite having 2 runners on with 1 out, it's a relatively painless inning for Jay Nesson and the South County Braves. Big Train still leads by 8, 11-3, top of the 6th coming up next. Will Kennedy will lead things off for South County, and he chops this one straight back. Line through the gap in the middle of the diamond. And it's a leadoff single. Pretty quick there for Will Kennedy coming up, swinging at the first pitch.
Second single of the day for Will Kennedy as his team tries to claw back in this one.
Got to do it one batter at a time. That's certainly the start they wanted to this top of the 6th inning, trailing by 8, 11-3. Jonathan Fisher, one of 3 South County players to cross the plate as a score, as a run rather. Reached on an error by Velazquez in the 4th, eventually scoring on a fielder's choice.
One of the 2 errors in that inning back-to-back, they came consecutively, E4 and E5.
Foul ball down the right field line off the bat of Fisher there. South County bullpen absolutely screaming their objections. Could hear them quite clearly from a good 350 feet away up here. Of course, 330 straight to the foul pole down both lines, left and right.
It's funny because
1-2.
Team that hit it will always call it fair, and the team that it game against will always call it foul.
One, two, fouled back towards the Big Train dugout, so we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jonathan Fisher. Bermuda grass shining bright under the lights here at Povich, as this one's again grounded foul. A couple
pieces of that Bermuda grass flying up on that foul ball.
Yeah, and a couple joking gestures for South County, saying that one was fair. I think they had more of a chance at getting the other one.
Matt Howitt settling in nicely in this game so far.
We'll do the 1-2. If he can pick up a bulk of innings here, that would be big. Big Train bullpen misses outside here. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And it's not like there's no arms behind him. You know,
No.
he's the only lefty up in, that's available out of the bullpen. But Tchaikovsky, Locke, Braley, Barron, and Metz all available out of the bullpen tonight. At least I'd be shocked if Zach Locke came into the game after he finished off that inning last night after a tremendous amount of pitches.
This one skied foul again into foul territory out there by the batting cages. Free baseball.
Got free baseball like
Nope.
we had last night.
Different sort of free baseball. No better feeling than taking a used baseball home from a ball game. Here's a 2-2. Grounded to Velazquez. Short hop. Flips on to second to get the lead runner. And out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning.
That bat is just shattered. That bat was
Nuked.
nuked right there as it swung almost in 25-75 quantities. Maybe we'll see if we can get that one up for our collection.
Fielder's choice 4-6 there as Jonathan Fisher reaches first safely. McGuire Tuffy stepping into the box now. Grounded out to Velazquez. Reached on an error by Pepe in the 4th and takes strike 1 there.
So I'm going to call that Doherty one way back when, that interesting score question we had. I just put down P1P with an RBI. I don't think that's a score that anyone's ever put down, but they could have.
It was certainly, I've never seen an infield fly actually dropped.
Right. Some guys will drop it intentionally, to try to turn a double play, but that's always when it's not when it's called an infield fly.
I mean, that's why the infield fly rule exists. Strike 2 in there on Tuffy.
It's almost like Tuffy's his first name here. You're just not referring to him by his last name, but nope, his name is McGuire Tuffy, for those just tuning in.
I mean, when I first saw the name, I'll be honest, I thought it was just typed wrong as he skies this one just foul, bounces towards the big train pen down there. I thought that maybe it should have been McGuire, Tuffy. Tuffy McGuire certainly is a name, but McGuire Tuffy, it works. It rolls
does.
off the tongue.
It really does.
And so it is McGuire Tuffy from the left-handed batter's box. Taking the 1-2 from Matt Howitt. Kicks and delivers. Flied in the air to left. Underneath it is Doherty out there to collect it for out number 2. Tough break there for McGuire.
Yeah, McGuire just kind of skied that one into left field and got a lot of hang time under it and is retired.
Pinch hitter here. Quinn Madden, the sophomore from Hartford, as you may have heard from our wonderful PA announcer here at Povich, Bob Johnson. Takes ball 1 on the outside. Madden, an outfielder, 5'10", 190. Sophomore at Hartford. And a Burke, Virginia native.
I'm just trying to get some work in. One of 3 guys available off the bench tonight for the Braves. Madden is available. Was available now. He's in the game. Stallings as well, and Steinhardt are all available off the bench tonight for the Braves.
Likely we'll see Madden slide into center with Hayden Winter's day done. Not necessarily. Can, of course, re-enter the game once. As Madden takes strike 2 straight down the pipe. Maybe a little low, if anything, but certainly a strike.
We'll have to see if he trots out there to center field next inning, or if Winter's staying in the game in defense.
2 balls, 1 strike. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Howard uses that lefty move to check back, and they're going to call that a balk.
Interesting.
Getting an explanation now.
Second balk of the game. We hadn't seen one all season long.
I mean, small sample size, but still, it's definitely strange to have one. I guess not back-to-back innings. When was the first one?
First one was back in the, I believe that was in the 4th on Brady Gump's at bat.
This one popped way high toward the right side. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes still.
Quinn Madden putting up a good at bat here.
Seeing plenty of pitches from Howitt. His first time up. He's had time to absorb from the dugout. Takes this one inside, sends the count full.
Madden, the second Hartford Community College player today in the game.
Payoff pitch coming from Howitt with 2 outs. And flied foul. Off the grill in the picnic pavilion. That one had some backspin on it. Would have been a beautiful approach shot into a green as it simply checked straight after landing. Leaving him an easy 3-foot putt for par. Here's the 3-2 back on the diamond. Punch out there from Matt Howitt. Beautiful pitch, slightly inside, but definitely deserving as he rings up Quinn Madden to end the 6th and strand Jonathan Fisher down at second. 11-3, bottom of the 6th coming up on Big New pitcher for South County here in the bottom of the 6th. Jay Nesson's day is done. And Dan Cote, wearing number 32, will take the bump. Cote out of the University of Hartford. Played 4 years of varsity at Old Saybrook. 36 innings, a 1.45 ERA. 74 strikeouts as a senior in high school. 6'1", 190, rising sophomore. Cone fouls this one back. No play on it. Westbrook, Connecticut native. And let's just say he probably doesn't want to look at his current ERA out at Hartford as Cone takes ball 1 inside. 1.1 innings pitched in the 2021 season. 4 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, 5 walks, and 1 strikeout. Faced 14 batters, just 3 appearances. For a grand sum of a 33.75 ERA.
Yeah, that's not something you'll write home about as the starter for this game as well. 1950 at VMI and Jack Thompson.
From the stretch with the bases empty, here's the 1-2 from Cote. Outside, ball 2.
So they've burned 3 of their 5 righties out of the bullpen tonight. One of the Kyle Lewises is available. And Wells is also available, and then Grill and Cardinale available in the left-hand side, but those are purely situational, as is Wells.
As Cone lines this one into right center field, and a fantastic diving stop. I believe that's Quinn Madden, the defensive substitution out there, sliding and grabbing the fly ball off the bat of Jack Cone. An unfortunate F8 there.
But one you can put an exclamation point next to. Big diving and sliding stop. Seen that for 2/3 of the outfield battery. Of course, Tyler Solomon did it earlier in the game. And I think we have I think the left fielder is different. I think someone new is in left field. I'm not sure who it is. I saw a 1. And Tyler Solomon is 36.
So maybe Solomon's over in center.
I saw 1 is in center field, so Madden is definitely
that's
in center
Madden.
field. We'll have to see what the rest of the alignment looks like. These guys turn around.
So the thing about these South County Braves shirts, they're not really uniforms. They look like more like shirts. I mean, they're not jerseys. They're uniforms, but they're more shirts. They don't have numbers on the front. So when the outfield fielders are aligned the way they are now, most of the defense is aligned the way they are now, you can't really see what number they are, which can be quite frustrating. But onwards and upwards as Kyle Velazquez gets a 1-1 count here to start off. 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. And this one runs inside for the second time tonight. Kyle Velazquez will take 90 feet after wearing one.
Never
Fourth hit by pitch by 3 different South County pitchers.
Never fun. Never fun to get hit in any way, shape, or form.
Pretty similar spot to the last one he wore, too. Maybe a little bit lower on his back. But he did a good job of turning into that one, doing the best he can. So 1 on, 1 out. Brady Gump at the plate here for the big train. Another RBI potentially in his bat. This one runs inside, ball 1.
So that's definitely action up in the pen for the big train. Howitt's night is likely finished. 4 just tremendous innings after a rough outing in the first game of the season. He comes back and shoves for 4 innings, gives up the 1 run. But that doesn't matter as they're up by 8.
This one fouled back by Gump. Oh, beautiful catch there in the corner of the third base grandstand. How about that? Easy does it. Smooth as can be.
Steady as she goes. Or he, whoever.
Looks like a he. See if we can get a better look. Well-earned souvenir down there. That might have been our assistant general manager down there.
It's P-Chap making a catch down there. Patrick Chapman.
Looked like him. Might be.
No, I'm not sure why Patrick Chapman would be over there. But hey, maybe he's enjoying the game from afar.
Well-earned in that case.
Had to do a tremendous amount of power washing to set up the field this year.
He's a wizard with the power wash hoses. Here's the 2-1 to Gump. Low, ball 3.
Almost at 9:30 here in this game, still sitting in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Runner goes on the 3-1. Throw down in time. But avoiding the tag is Kyle Velasquez as he makes this defense pay for his second hit by pitch of the day. And Brady Gump will work the count full. Runner in scoring position now for Gump as Cote steps off the rubber.
Just a shellacking in every sense of the word tonight for the big train.
Here's the 3-2. Velasquez going. No throw down to third. And a free pass for Brady Gump as he works the walk.
Control may be eluding Cote out there on the mound, the hit by pitch and the walk, of course.
First baseman, number 22, Ryan Hardy.
Ryan Doherty started this game at first base. He's out in left field now. And looking for his second hit of the night here. Kyle Velasquez 90 feet away. We'll see if Brady Gump tries to make a 2 in scoring position as Doherty swings at the first pitch. That's going to be 1 RBI as Velasquez trots home. Gump will stay at second. And it's a clean RBI single for Ryan Doherty.
And what a way to silence the doubters or criticisms or whatever you want to call it. Runner comes in to score. Doherty gets a big ribeye steak on that one. Nice steak dinner. And this game is getting out of hand quickly.
Second ribby of the day for Ryan Doherty as he makes this a 12-3 ball game, a quadrupling currently up on the scoreboard by the big train.
And tremendous run output after the 3 runs they put up in last night's incomplete game.
And this one lined up the middle into the glove of Fisher over to Tuffy. And in time to Kernane. The double play, 6-4-3. And they get Gauthier to ground into the double play. So the big train add one more on one hit. They leave no men aboard. And they take a 12-3 lead to the top of the 7th here on Big Train TV. Swing and strike to start off the leadoff hitter. Leading off this inning, Santino Rosso, the third baseman tonight for South County. New pitcher for the Big Train. An admirable shift put in by Matt Howitt. 4 strong innings. And he's relieved here by Zach Locke. Currently the pitcher of record for last night's game as well.
Absolutely.
Suspended again after 9 innings, a 3-3 tie, and he had a huge strikeout of a pinch hitter for Silver Spring to send that one to extras with the bases loaded.
And then the heavens opened up about 20 seconds later. Just it came on really fast because it hadn't rained all night. And then all of a sudden, just the rain comes up from, I guess, south and just...
It was very nice of it to at least hold off until we had reached the 9th inning of play. 2-2 now on Rosso. Tough night at the plate for him. Walked, was caught stealing in the second, and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th as he gives this one a ride to right center field. Back there is Gump, and he makes, can't get it. That's going to bounce off the wall. Gump does a good job to keep that one in front of him, but Rosso heads to second with a long stand-up double.
Yeah, I gave that ball a ride. Certainly looked out off the bat, but just one hop the wall. Right fielder Gump couldn't make the play. Bounced out of his glove. We've seen 2 of those today. Nolan Sean Uell in left field did the same thing. So maybe lost it in the lights a little bit, but you never know what's happening out there in the outfield.
One of the deepest parts of the park there in right center field, and he takes a healthy lead off second here. And taking a healthy swing at it is the catcher, Nathan Schmila. That's going to get into the glove of Darius Foster. Rosso will tag from second, get down to third. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Rosso advances to third. And it's a long sacrifice off the bat of Nathan Schmila.
Yeah, he crushed that ball once again. Back-to-back crushes in this lineup, but unfortunately, neither of them came all the way around. You know, close to a home run on the first one. This one, Foster tracked down on a great running play. So, giving some balls, some hard-hit balls on Zach Locke.
Certainly plenty of contact between those 2 pitches. Tyler Solomon has been replaced. Anthony Steinhardt, rising sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana, University of Dayton. And he comes up swinging at the first pitch. Doherty going over to the line, backtracking, and making a nice play over his head. Throw cut off by Pepe at third. Rosso will come the final 90 feet home, and it's a 12-4 ball game now.
An adventurous catch out there in left field by Ryan Doherty. Had to go over his shoulder, you know. Not the Willie Mays-esque catch he was looking for there, but still made the play nonetheless.
Big sacrifice F7 there for Steinhardt. 2 outs now, and the base is empty for Race Kernane.
Cordane today, you know, just having an interesting day at the plate. He's doubled, walked, and struck out, so filling up the stat sheet, certainly.
And quickly behind here, 0-2. Locke with that steady step, chopped down the first base line. Locke collects. And I think on the Shanuel got the throw from Locke, and his arm was a little bit in the runner's way and almost A-Rod-esque. Kernane knocks that out of Shanuel's glove and reaches first base there.
And we'll see what they score that there, Ben. Certainly a weird play. So beat out the throw, or didn't beat out the throw, but the ball just caromed out of the mitt of the first baseman, Sean Ewell.
And unlike that famous Alex Rodriguez play, actually in the proper position there was Kernane. Sean Ewell in the pass to the base. This one misses just a bit outside. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
All Rothstein is looking to do here is to just extend his line at the plate today. He's struck out in back-to-back plate appearances, but he had a double to his first one in that interesting first inning. So,
And this one chopped up the middle. That's going to get through Gauthier at short. And two outs and 2 on here against Zach Locke.
perfectly placed, hit it right back where it was pitched, and nothing the fielders could do as they both tried to convene on that ball, but neither of them got to it.
No foot to knock that one down. Zach Locke, I'm sure, happy about that. Not necessarily as happy about allowing another base runner here as Will Kennedy now steps to the box. And takes ball 1 well inside.
Still wondering what the scoring is on that play at first base 2 batters
I
ago.
believe it was just a single. Or throwing error by the pitcher. So Locke assessed the E1 there.
Tougher E1 you'll see.
Yeah. Absolutely. 3rd error of the day by Bethesda. Strike 1 there. 2-1 the count on Will Kennedy. Singled twice in this game. Victim of a fielder's choice. Last inning in the 6th. Fly out to left in between as he checks his swing, but definitely went around there. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Locke weaving in and out of trouble, much like he did last night. While it's a lower leverage situation than last night was, and just a phenomenal job to get that strikeout of Tommy Dunleavy to send it to extra innings.
As this one's lined into right, that's going to get down in front of Gump. Rounding third and scoring will be Kernane. And it's a 2 spot here in the top of the 7th for South County. Make it 12-5 on the scoreboard. And an RBI there for Will Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy with his 3rd single of the day, even though the team has had a rough day at the plate, or not rough day at the plate, but a rough day overall, quietly 3 for 4 on the day with 3 singles. And his first ribby of the afternoon, or the evening. It's not afternoon anymore.
Definitely not afternoon. As we tick past the bottom of the hour here on Big Train TV, Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck. Some fun stuff coming for you down the stretch of this game as we're 1 out away from the stretch here on opening night at Povich Field. Big Train 1-0. Big win over Gaithersburg on Monday, opening night on the road. Suspended game last night as Jonathan Fisher comes to bat for the 4th time today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th. An error as this one's grounded straight to Sean Ewell. At first, he'll take it himself, and it's a 3-U to wrap this one up. Time to stretch at Povich Field. It's a healthy 12-5 lead for the Bethesda Big Train here on Big Train TV. As we welcome you into the booth here at Shirley Povich Field, we're joined by a very special guest here in the bottom of the seventh, a 12-5 big train lead. And so plenty of time for you, Jesse Barron, to come up and chat with us for a little bit here. Thanks for joining us up here in the booth.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesse, of course, a pitcher out of San Francisco. Little interested in this part of the game as well, though.
Yeah, I love this side of the game. I love commentating. I love talking about how the game's played and behind the scenes. So this is a cool spin on it.
Absolutely. So this season, you started a few games, obviously, especially in the, exhibition and then the other night. So, and you've worked as close as well. How do you get into different mindsets for different situations to come in?
So coming out of the bullpen's a lot harder than starting, I would say. Coming out of the bullpen, you don't know when you're gonna play. So you can be up Monday. Oh wow, Darius.
You got a home run call ready, just in case?
Oh, I got a good one. I usually copy the Giants announcer, Mike. Crusoe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's sweet.
I think
Yeah.
you'll have to give him your headset for that one if
Yeah.
he takes over.
Make sure he's got enough volume there. I mean, obviously, tough F8 there for Darius, but, teammate of yours, you faced off a couple here
Yes.
back in Gaithersburg. What's that like for you, interacting with Darius, interacting with other guys around the league from San Francisco?
Darius is sweet. He's one of my favorite guys on the team. Me and him are pretty close, and we played Gaithersburg Giants last night, or the other night maybe. And Luke Keishel and Tyler Martinez are on that team, along with my other buddy Max Jones, who's a pitcher. So those guys are all doing real well. Luke Keishel was a co-freshman of the year, so he's got a bright future. Tyler Martinez is my roommate, and he's just beast in center field, and he'll track down any ball you can. Max, one of the best closers, one of the best arms out of the bullpen. He's a guy who's going to help my team a lot in the future.
Right. Yeah. I'm interested to see the process. Getting to the big train. From San Francisco. Just what's the whole process like leading up to this?
So I was originally supposed to go here my freshman year, but that got canceled due to COVID. And ever since then, I was always excited to come here. They sent me to the Northwoods instead for my freshman year because this got canceled. But yeah, I really enjoyed this place so far, and that's how I got here. My coach just really wanted us to go out to Maryland and play some good baseball.
Right. Yeah. Good.
4-3
good
there
choice.
on Nolan Shanuel. Sorry to interrupt you with a little actual baseball.
We got Rocco up right now.
What's he like?
Rocco's
Another
interesting
California guy.
personality. Yeah, he's sweet from Long Beach. He's a guy you don't want to mess around with. He's gonna
I'll take a note of that.
He comes off that way. He really does.
Yeah, he's sweet though. He's cool. Once you get to know him, he's a cool guy, and he's just one of those guys who's all baseball. He's all focused every single time. So he's really cool.
He was one of the first ones here last Friday when you guys showed up.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he was just ready to work, as this one's chopped straight back to the pitcher and over for a quick 3 outs. So, not that much time to get into it. We'll stay with you here, coming back for the top of the eighth after a little quick word from our sponsor at Dandy Walker.
One in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Okay.
Back here in the George Solomon press box here at Povich Field, and a new pitcher for the big train, but taking over for us now is Jesse Barron.
Here's Danny Checo. First pitch. Fouled off. And coming up to hit today is McGuire Tuffy. He's 0 for 3, but he reached on an error back in the 4th inning. And he's been a good bat this season for the team. Second pitch, grounded up the middle. Trying to get there, Zoss, and he can't get there, and that's going to be a base hit. So 1 for 4.
So, Jesse, I got to ask, when it's a tough play like that and that goes through, do you ever are you ever mad at that, or is it ever just like a situation where it's like, oh, well, it just misses glove, and you just get in there and go attack the next batter?
Those are a tough play to make. So we understand it as pitchers, but obviously we want the infield to make that play, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. That's a swing and miss by Madden, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
How would you describe Danny's stuff?
Danny. Well, we're all still new here, so I haven't really seen. Runner goes, throw down, and can't get him in time as the ball kicks away. So runner's going to advance to second base on that. But, yeah, Danny's stuff, I haven't really checked out all of his stuff yet. A lot of the guys are still trying to get to know each other. It is the first week still, so. The only person who I've really, really checked out was Zach. Zach's pretty good. He's got an electric fastball. That one's fouled off. That's going to be a souvenir for the fans. But, yeah, Zach's one of my favorite pitchers to check out. He's Long Beach, and he's a good guy. He's a good pitcher. Knows what he's doing, and he's got a crazy, crazy slider, crazy curveball, and he's got a fastball he'll run up to 92.
Saw all of those last night as he got that huge strikeout in the 9th inning.
That we were all pulling for him, and luckily he did the job, and we're glad that he did it, because those guys were trying to get in our ears, get in our faces, and it was definitely an emotional game as Madden takes that one looking on the off-speed pitch, and that's the second out of this inning.
So is there no better situation than seeing the umpire ring up the guy on a strikeout?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love backwards case.
Yeah, I was going to say, which do you like better, a swinging strikeout or a looking strikeout?
Looking strikeout for sure, because, I feel like you just completely beat him, and he was not expecting that at all. So that one's in there for a strike in the lower half of the zone. And here's Rosso. How's he doing today?
He's 1 for 3. He had a walk as well. He was caught stealing earlier, though.
Had that big double in the last inning.
And here's the 0-1, and that's blooped off to the left side, and that's going to be out of play into the bullpen. And bullpen, that's the fun part right there. As a pitcher, you love the bullpen.
How's the view down there?
It's cool. It's definitely a different view from up here. I like this view better for sure.
You can't see you guys down there.
No, you can't. No, it's dangerous over there. You don't want to spend too much time. Oh, man, this is sweet.
Little thing in the middle will focus.
Oh, right here. Oh, and that one's hit off to Nolan at first base, and that's the second out of the inning.
All the way to third now is McGuire Tuffy, who, that's just an easy play there. You like to get those, settle in.
You love to see those. A nice rollover as a pitcher is probably one of the second best things that could happen besides a strikeout looking, of course. Well, yeah, it looks like Danny's in a good spot right here. Runner at third base, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one's taken high.
So this name threw us for a loop when we came in, but it's Nathan Schmeyla, spelled C-M-E-Y-L-A. That's a name that'll give people some fits.
Yeah, definitely I had some trouble with that one. That one's also taken high, and it's 2-0. Schmeyla being in the 2-hole definitely has Danny can definitely work around him if he wants to, but because of the big lead, we'll just end up going straight after him.
Right.
But just trying to get it low and in the zone, hitters will eventually get themselves out, and that's the key to this game as a pitcher.
Right. Is there ever a situation where you're pitching around the guy?
Oh yeah, for sure. If a guy's hot, he's got a good batting average, he's got a few home runs under his belt. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna pitch around him a little bit, also depending on the score. That's the real important part of it. 1-2, and that one's taken high, and it's 3-1. Oh, excuse me, 3-1.
So how has it just been getting to know the guys, meeting some guys for the first time, new guys in a new place, obviously across the country. So how does that feel?
Oh, it's great. It's cool. It's definitely a new experience. I always enjoy coming to summer ball because, that one's hits Austin, backs up on his heels a little bit, but he gets up and throws, and he's going to make the play. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We're going to head to the next inning. It's 12-5, your score.
So, next inning coming up. Jesse, once again, thank you so much for coming up and joining us in the booth today. This certainly won't be the last time we have you up here in the long season, but great job. Did great job calling that inning, and we're so happy to have you up here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me.
New pitcher on the mound. It's the lefty, number 21, John Grill, 5'9", 185 junior at Washington College, New Providence, New Jersey native, as he faces Matt Thomas to start things off here.
So Lewis just pitched the 1 inning also. Just want to give a quick shout out to Jesse Barron for coming up and talking to us.
Absolutely.
Didn't have to do that, but we're so grateful that we had the chance to do that. And maybe not the last player, or maybe not the only player we'll have up here as we try to broaden our horizons a little bit up here. Maybe get you some more angles to get you as close to big train action as possible.
This is what Big Train TV is about, bringing you closer to the action, closer to the players, and as close to the baseball as we can. Now, it's sometimes tough with screens in the way and such, but we do our best for you, our lovely listeners. It's been so awesome to watch the growth of this channel over the last week or so. Thank you all for your patience and support here. Really is special to try to put this whole thing together. And we hope to bring you more great content throughout this great summer season as Thomas fouls back the 1-1, 1-2.
Now, Julius Rothstein wants to know, he says we do an entertaining broadcast. He also wants to know, have we mic'd up Sal in the dugout yet? He's quite the bench jockey. And
Absolutely.
we'd love to do that.
We're working on the technology.
Right, we just figured out how to get guys, as you can see there, the
Oh, wow.
comment from
I didn't
Julius
even know
Rossi.
we could do that.
Shout out to our guy, as there's a strikeout of Matt Thomas. Shout out to our guy, Aaron, the producer, doing a tremendous job. But Julius, we will try. We will try as much as we can. As much as we can is to just get a little bit better as we go along in the season. It's a long season, so we have a lot to toy with. But we were happy we could finally get a player up here for the first time this season, and early on in the season.
Yeah. Pretty early on in the game, too. Jesse was with us for the top of the 7th. Just soaking it all in, getting to observe. We hope to bring you some other content from Jesse, too. I know he's working on a little bit of a vlog, skilled with the camera. Be sure to share that with you once we have it, as Cone takes the 1-0 inside. Strike one, 1-1.
Yeah, even suggested a few camera angles we could go put out there. Once we get that capability, maybe get larger extending Wi-Fi, we'd absolutely love to do that.
As this one bounces off Shmila's something.
It seems just like
Shin guard,
ages
glove.
ago, by the way, that the pitcher, Cone, was in the game. Cone on the mound. Because Howard pitched those 4 innings, and then the 1 inning, just that 1 inning from Zach Locke. And Tchaikovsky on the mound as well.
As Cone grounds this one towards short. Fisher over and sails the throw. Not nearly in time to get Jack Cone. And it bounces off the screen back into play. So Cone will stay at first.
Really just no need to throw there because Cone has basically already beat him out. And in a 12-5 game, kind of surprising that second baseman Tuffy would throw, or excuse me, shortstop Fisher would throw him out there. But Velasquez looking to extend a big day at the plate where he has not been retired yet.
An interesting line for Kyle Velasquez today. Doubled, was stranded. Hit by pitch, was stranded at third as he chops this one to the very top of the screen. Heads up down there on the concourse. Then he doubled again and scored this time. And then he was hit by a pitch again and scored this time. And looking to maybe break the streak here. If the trend is to be considered, he's on pace for a double here. We'll see what happens. So he gets set here for the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1. John Grill. Not John Grilly. No relation to Jason Grilly of Pittsburgh Pirates fame.
Jason Grilly was a phenomenal reliever for just 1 year. I believe it was. He was an all-star. There's your obscure reference of the night. You can put him in there. Put him in your game notes.
Fouled back again, 1-2.
Well, you can't outdo the king, but you know you can always keep score in your game notes.
I'll do my best.
But I'm just so happy we had that great insight from Jesse Barron. Definitely
Hope you
see
can
him.
hear him. I know we're having some trouble with our third mic here.
It's all right if you
I
couldn't
was
hear him from the first half. We were
generous
just glad.
enough to give up my headset there for the second. Let Tyler do most of the talking. Besides Jesse, of course.
Did a great job play-by-play as well.
He did.
Maybe he's got a future in that. And we got another guy that's that's interested in sports broadcasting coming later. That's
Cooper Rons.
Cooper Rons from UC Santa Barbara, I believe it is. And we'll try to get him up here once as well. He's a pitcher too.
This one chopped well foul. That's a car alert. Don't know if that made it out of the final fence here at Povich.
In a wild game nonetheless. A lot of traffic on the base pass, a lot of guys coming around, a lot of errors, just a weird game altogether. But again, a similar score to the first game of the season. And about pretty much a similar just aura surrounding the game as well.
A huge inning, a little bit earlier than that Monday night outburst in the 6th, I believe it was, 6th or 7th, against Gaithersburg. Came in the 4th tonight as the big train sent 11 batters to the plate in that half inning.
Of course, Ben, this will
3-2 here on Velazquez, and he chops this one towards the third baseman. Rosso fires over to second in time for one. Can't get Velazquez sprinting down the first base line.
And of course,
two.
Ben, we'll be off tomorrow. No game tomorrow, but we'll continue to bring you coverage of Big Train baseball all season long on Big Train TV. On Friday, we'll be in D.C. as they take on the D.C. Grays at the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy, hoping to get some other broadcasters. They have 2 broadcasters on their show, on their broadcast with us in the pregame show.
One of whom you might have heard of, but we'll leave that as a little bit of a surprise for Friday night.
If we can
You'll have to
get them on the broadcast as well.
You'll have to tune in Friday at around 6:50 to find out who. 2 outs here. Velazquez on first for Brady Gump. Good day for him. Reached base 3 times, a hit by pitch, a walk, and an RBI single, eventually coming around to score in that very long 4th inning.
And all these runs, not coming around to score on home runs.
Not a single long ball tonight. No big fly yet. As Gump laces this one off the glove of Rosso and into the outfield for another base hit on the night for Brady Gump.
Out-of-town MLB scoreboard, Mets shellacked the Braves 14-1, and the Philadelphia Phillies they shellacked the Orioles, and the Phillies beat the Braves 2-1 on a walk-off home run by rookie Luke Williams. Just called up.
Ryan Doherty coming to bat back here at Povich. So take another look at the out-of-town scoreboard. A 13-5 score currently still in play. Alexandria over D.C. as Doherty skies the very first pitch he sees straight to center field. So don't get the chance to finish now. We'll get the remainder of the out-of-town scoreboard when we come back. In the top of the 9th inning, Big Train looking to close this one out strong. A 7-run lead, 12-5. Anthony Steinhardt, substitute, outfielder up to the plate here. Chopping at the first pitch he sees, sends it foul down the left side.
So this is Danny Tchaikovsky's inning to do. It's all him.
Second inning of work for Checo. So we again to wrap up our out-of-town scoreboard. Top of the 9th in Alexandria, again a 13-5 lead over the D.C. Grays for the Aces. Bottom of the 8th in Gaithersburg. Giants have clawed back in that one. Only 1 run since the top of the 2nd for the Silver Spring Tacoma T-Bolts. And it's just an 8-run deficit now. 15-7. T-Bolts leading in Gaithersburg. Of course, in the MLB, like you mentioned, 14-1. Mets over the Orioles. Dodgers over the Pirates 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 8th, Nationals and the Rays tied at 5 down in Tampa.
Still in the 5th,
As
by the way. It was
swinging-
raining buckets in Pittsburgh today.
Yeah, swinging and missing at that one is Steinhardt. Bottom of the 7th, Rockies 4, Marlins 3. Into the 8th, Astros 8, Red Sox 3. Middle of the 8th, Brewers 2, Reds 7. And top of the 10th, Mariners and Tigers tied at 3. Yankees up 8-2 over the Twins as Steinhardt is retired on strikes there for the first of the top of the 9th, bringing up Race Kernane. Just a lot of action in the MLB today. Full slate around Major League Baseball. 2-1 White Sox over the Blue Jays, middle 6th. 6-2 Cardinals over the Indians in St. Louis, top of the 6th as well. 0-0, top of the 2nd, Royals and Angels. Final in 11, Rangers 4-3 over the Giants in Texas. A's blanked the Diamondbacks 4-0 final. And the Cubs beat the Padres in Slam Diego 3-1.
Cubs just handling the Padres this year every time they've played them.
Cubs might be, I mean, the Giants obviously with one of the best records in baseball, certainly at the top of the list. But the Cubs are up there when it comes to surprise teams around the majors as Race swings through strike 2 there.
And we'll see if Chris Bryant is on the move. You know, he's always long been in trade talks. Same thing with Nolan Arenado. Finally got dealt to the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll see if he moves.
Dealt is certainly one word to describe the highway robbery pulled off by
Was
the St. Louis
was
front office
offered
there.
to St. Louis.
Here's the 1-2 from Tchaikovsky, punches out Race. Kernane, second backwards K of the inning for Danny Tchaikovsky, third of the night.
And there seems to be one stop left towards Victory Station. Just a tremendous effort from Tchaikovsky in relief to keep this game low. Same thing with Locke. You know, Locke's had 2 outstanding efforts. 2
Matt
games
Howard especially.
Howard, yeah, Howard might be. And when we do post game, it's gonna be tough for me to choose the player to watch or player of the game tonight. Howard, pretty good, solid relief line, but a couple of guys filled up the stat sheet.
This one popped over our heads out of play for strike 1 on Ethan Rothstein.
And I hear this game is more life-altering than a 10-day trip to Europe.
I don't know about that. I've heard good things about VCU Siegel Center, though. 2-1 on Ethan Rothstein.
Maybe a Fortune 500 company, the Bethesda Big Train are.
You're just racking them up here. You're tallying up the
Ones,
score.
you know,
you're
ones
running
that
it up.
If I can't do my obscure references tonight, which I've only had 2 of them, I know you got one. You still haven't written it down.
And this one laced down the left field line, just foul. That one looked like it might have kicked up a little chalk down there on the gravel warning track, but evens count 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Big Train,
Similar.
1 strike away here from putting this thing away.
And now it's settling into Victory Station. You know, that one reminded me a lot of that foul ball. I mean, not straight up in the air, but that Bartman foul ball. You remember that?
No, I don't really.
Moises Alou, the one in the Cubs-Marlins series.
I like know which one you're talking about. I don't remember it because I was like 4.
I wouldn't expect you to remember
Well, you
watching
said,
it.
do you remember it?
But do you, I mean,
Do I
have you seen
recall
it?
it?
You recall it.
Sure. Do I remember it? No. I was not cognizant at the time.
I wasn't either, but
2-2. Swung on and missed inside. And that will do it. Strike 3. Danny Tchaikovsky strikes out the side in the top of the 9th. Backwards, and forwards Ks as the Big Train steams on to Victory Station, like you said, Tyler, with an emphatic 12-5 victory on opening night here at Shirley Povich Field.
really firing on all cylinders tonight. The bullpen was stellar, especially Matt Howard in relief, 4 innings pitched and only allowed the 1 run. Certainly a better effort than he had in the first game of the season, but they'll head into the day off with a victory and hope to extend that to the DC Grays, who are getting shellacked right now. That's 3 games with double-digit runs for a team in the CRCBL today.
Sound the horn as the Big Train rack up their second victory of the season. 12 runs, 14 hits, 3 errors. For Bethesda, 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. for South County as they fall for the second time this season. Again, both teams with games suspended due to weather last night. That will do it for our live coverage of this game. Thanks for tuning in again to this home opener here at Povich Field. Big Train postgame is next here on Big Train TV.
here at Povich Field. The Big Train have once again arrived at Victory Station with a 12-5 victory over the South County Braves. It was a pretty solid effort altogether. The Big Train really just took control of this game and really never let go. An 8-run inning was the highlight of this one, and some pretty solid pitching out of the bullpen, pretty stout pitching after that. Ben, what did you take away from this game?
Yeah, I took away that this was a complete game in all phases of baseball by South Colangelo's team. A total domination of South County. They let up 2 late runs there in the 7th. That kind of went back to the conversation we were getting on a little bit earlier. Did want to get that to Jesse, but didn't unfortunately have enough time. That was really great, having Jesse Barron out of the Big Train hive over there in left field, the bullpen, as I think we're going to refer to it from now on. But yeah, like I said, 3 early runs, 2 in the first for South County, and Big Train, once they put the pedal to the metal, once they got the steam engine rolling, it was all train from there.
Yeah, really no letting off on, as I liken it to the putting the knife in and continuing to twist it for Coach Sal. Just also, tremendously grateful for Jesse Barron coming up here. That was a lot of fun. But, altogether, some solid innings. Matt Howitt, outstanding 4-inning effort, really shelving the doubters after the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Shaky one. And then a lot of guys had multiple hits. I'm looking down the line now. Austin Gauthier did.
And too many to count.
Darius Foster, Rocco Pepe, and Kyle Velasquez and Brady Gump and Ryan Dougherty all had multiple hit efforts. But I think my player of the game just has to be Matt Howitt tonight. The 4 innings pitched, several strikeouts in relief. He had some pretty solid innings after that second. He struck out the side. In the 5th, and I believe those were all. He had 5 total strikeouts in relief today, as he did. He was the yeoman of today's game.
Yeah, absolutely. The rock of the middle of that Big Train bullpen today absolutely shut South County down for 4 innings, which allowed the Big Train to build what was at one point, at the largest point, a 12-3 lead. So I absolutely agree with you. I think Matt Howitt is my player of the game, but just for the sake of needing a different one, I'm going to go with somebody different. I'm going to go with Kyle Velasquez. He really started things off. He got the first RBI of the game for the Big Train, a big RBI double off the left center fence back in the second to get things going on the scoreboard for Bethesda, and then just kept humming. He wore one a couple times. He had another big RBI double in that huge 4th inning. One error in the field, but overall a pretty solid outing for him up the middle of that infield as well defensively.
Absolutely slammed that ball to the wall. A tough beat on that one for the center fielder, Winter, to make that play. But, just a great effort altogether as the Big Train once again roll into Victory Station for the second time this season. Should be 3rd, or we'll have to see how that goes in a couple of weeks when they replay that game. Just as outstanding effort from the rest of the bullpen as well. Locke and Tchaikovsky kept the game scoreless after that. And the Big Train roll on to win 12-5. So that is all we have for the Big Train TV broadcast tonight. For Tyler Gallo, Ben Bobeck, this will be our last one for a couple of days. We'll be back on Friday at the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy as the Big Train take on the DC Grays. Once again, we'll be here all season long. We have a day off tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Friday. So stay tuned for that one and continue to stay tuned to our YouTube channel for some interesting content. We'll see you then.